all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind, coming to you 250 miles above your imagination from the International Fake Station. I'm up here with my good friend and co-pilot, Somting Wong, and he's here to make sure that we fly good and level across the level plane tonight. There's some good people in here already. Mojo's here. I don't know if you heard, but Valley Parks' goat died today. She called me. Sorry to hear about your goat, Valley. I got Greg B's here tonight. Saddle Bums with us. Truth Troll, Dragon Sage. Got Nate X here with us tonight. Let's see, Greg Braden. How'd your dinner go with Barbara? That sounded like a lot of fun. Saddle Bum is with us here as well. That Way said hi, everyone. Hello, That Way. How are you? We have Anson Howard with us tonight. How dare you take a few days off? I know. Listen, I do what I want, man. Tony Coriola, it's good to see you, my man. Have you played around anymore with that app? I'm just curious about that. Let me know. Let's see who else. Twilight Nights, always one of the first ones in here. We've got Barry Ross is here. Of course, tonight is an open panel. If you want to come up, discuss whatever. But we got Indoctrinated. Is he here too? I think I saw somebody saying something to him. Yes, he is. P. Diddy had 2,000 bottles or something like that. Yeah, it was over 1,000 bottles of lubricant and baby oil. Some Astro Glide, some of that butt lube he was getting into up there. What's happening, Tony? What's going on tonight, brother?
Yo. Yeah, perfect question. Good memory. Yeah, I did actually hop on that app and checked it out. Dude, it seems kind of legit. I mean, it's kind of weird. There's not many people over there, but all the people seem pretty cool, you know? It's just all kind of like Discord. You ever go on there?
Yeah, it's a trailer park.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't really tell. Some people are coming in kind of saying nonsense, and there's kind of no, like, I don't know, meaning to the show as you can kind of have here on YouTube. But all the people seemed cool, you know? Genuine flat earthers, I think. I even talked to that one girl who won, and they all seem kind of like cool people, honestly.
I'm curious to find out. Let's take a look here. Let's see the what the GoFundMe is up to for that girl.
Yeah, I heard it was up to like $5,000 or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm going to take a look real quick. Let's see. His latest thing was this, and I think he put the link down there. Let me see. Yep, there it is. All right. Let me. Well,
But I at least did confirm one thing on how I said, how does he, like Duffy even said, you have a huge following. The chat rooms had like 11, 12 people. I mean, there's not a huge group over there or anything following that group or on Clubhouse or whatever.
right.
So that was not true.
Well, this is taking a long time. It won't even load. All right, I'll try to click it again.
Hmm.
The GoFundMe link that he has there is just sitting there with an about blank on it.
I know I can find it, but I'll just go off screen for a second. I'll still stay here.
All right. Yeah, I went by the link that he had in the video. And it's still trying to load on nothing coming up. And nothing else is taking that long to load.
Yeah, I got you. I should have it right here. I'm just gonna check. But I at least checked, and I was glad to see, okay, it is. I don't know. At least I figure if it was agents, like no way. I at least added some of the people on their Instagram, and they seem like just legit people that are, I guess, down a different avenue of this flat Earth thing. They're flat, and me, I'm flat since 2020. Some of them are all kind of flat since COVID times, So still, they seem legitimate. Flat Earthers for sure.
Dude, it's not even loading up, man. It's not even opening.
Huh.
Yeah, it says can't reach this page. 502, bad gateway.
Uh-oh. Shut it down, maybe.
Well, I don't know, man. Pretty weird. Well, I'll tell you something else that I found was sus because my wife, she was gone when that video came out. When she came back, I watched it again with her. So I made it about the third, fourth time I've seen that video. And the thing that I found, oh shit, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, okay. So he's eliminating all these contestants, right? Now, there was a few people on there that I did know of. Josh Monday, for instance. And
yeah. And Brian Leakey.
Yeah. Okay. So Brian Leakey, he says, now listen, he says, I've got the equipment. I've got infrared equipment, blah, 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 all this shit, right? He's the only one out of all the guys that had all that shit, right? And you notice he was the first one to be eliminated.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Now Duffy was the judge of who got to go. Okay. So wouldn't you, being a truth seeker, think, hey, this guy's actually got the equipment. He's serious about it. Yeah. I think I'm gonna choose that guy, right? No, instead, he's the one they eliminated for first try. I'm like, oh shit. That wasn't too obvious. Oh.
I do think, thinking of it, Leakey might have been probably the best option because they even say that Dave McKeegan guy, they say, oh, he's a camera guy. Well, okay, fine. Let Flat Earth, have a camera guy. Brian Leakey would be a perfect person for that.
Yeah, bro. Absolutely. That's what I was exactly thinking. This is weird. Can anybody else find that GoFundMe page for that girl? Let's see if we can, thefinalexperiment.com. Is it over there? Maybe.
I think I'd have to hop onto that Clubhouse. I think I could find it over there.
Because I'm using the one that it's on his Duffy's video for Scammed by a Flat Earther, the fake Antarctica offer. That's the one that he put out September 20th, 3 days ago. He says, I was scammed by a flat earther. Yeah, but just through an email, it was that easy, right? It was that easy to get a financial guy through just an email, right on. But that's not going to be how this story ends. And then he's got this GoFundMe. Let me try it again. See, no, bad gateway.
I could hop off of here really quick. I could find it if I go over to that Clubhouse, probably pretty easy, but it wasn't where I thought it was.
Has he got it on the he's got a website, right? It's called the final. Whoops.
Yeah, it should be on there.
Experiment. Whoops. God, I can't type. .com. No. What the hell? All right, I know how to find it. Let me go. There it is. Oh, I didn't have the hyphens. Okay, so here we go. We are, let's see, where do we get to the scoreboard? Let me bring this up for all you fine people. So let's see. 3, Witsit, Kingdom in Context, and Jeranism. Then over on this side, these are all the confirmed. Okay. These are the participants so far. Has he got anything about the no, that's that.
All right, yeah. Hey, it pulled right up for me. Shows it at
Did it?
5,700.
5,700.
Yeah.
Can you share the link?
Yeah. Let me see.
Now, if they don't get the money, enough money to pay for that girl to go, is the money going to be returned back to the donors, or how's that going to work? That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, it's a good question.
You know, will he cover the deficit in order for her to go? Or will it be, well, sorry, you didn't raise enough money, and then you find out that the money doesn't. You're muted, Tony. I mean, that would be something I'd be kind of interested in asking about, you know?
Throw it up there.
Talk about Jim Brewer and Dave Weiss. Yeah, I saw that. That was a pretty good it was a pretty good show. That was a pretty good show. If you didn't see, Dave Weiss was on Jim Brewer's Bruniverse here just the other day. That was pretty decent. It was a pretty good show.
I still got to watch that. I've always liked Jim Brewer.
Yeah, I think he's all right. I think he's all right. He's not giving me any reason to distrust him so far. There's that Kenneth Copeland guy. Oh, shit. So let's see. We don't. Did you find the link? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I read the chat from time to time. Where is it?
I threw it up there.
In the chat?
Yeah, but I don't think I'm a mod, so I don't know if it'll go through.
Oh, probably not. Let me just type something real quick.
Okay.
And just without a link or whatever. And then when it comes up, there we go. All right, there we go. There. Now you can put a link up there.
Normally it says a little thing, but it's an honor to get a wrench here, so nice.
Yeah, it's yeah. So we'll see. Keep track of that, because I think that's one that what Greg posted it. Scroll up. Greg posted it too. Let's see. There is Greg. I gotta find it. Greg, 5,700.
What up, Josh Monday?
Hey, Josh. What's happening, buddy? Let's see. I'm trying to find it. I got it. See, this shit goes by and I don't see highlighted when it's over here on this thing.
Yeah, don't feel bad. I'm not a professional with the chats either.
Yeah, I got it. There's a lot to keep up. Oh my God. Hang on. I see it now. Holy shit.
And even I call into shows sometimes, and then I've heard from people like, oh, did you see the chat or whatever? It's so hard to keep track of the chat when you're even just a caller in. But if you're doing a show, it's gotta be hard at all times. Yeah.
Now look, this is really weird, man, because it's not coming up on my computer. This is nuts. I just clicked on that same link, and it's giving me a rough way to go. Oh, wait a minute. I know why. No, I'm on my VPN's United States, so
they don't want your money.
That's all right. I wasn't going to give them none.
Yeah.
I see these commercials say, save 40%. When you go to, I can say, motherfucker, I'll save 100% and not go to your store at all. How about that?
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so Greg B posted the link up in the chat. Greg, you commented on the Flattoberfest. You thinking about going at all? Hopefully, it'd be cool to see you out there. Well, I guess you're Colorado, so it's a far drive.
Yeah, it's a little further for him than it is for a lot of other people.
Yeah, should have made it out there to Vegas.
Yeah, I went to that one. This one's closer, but I'm not going this year. I got too
Yeah.
much other crap going on. So it's like, yeah, I was thinking about that. I was watching it with the wife, and I was like, oh yeah, look at there. The very first one that they got rid of right off the bat was the guy with all the equipment. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and Brian Leakey's been cool lately. That'd be cool if he got selected.
Yeah, well, he didn't. So they're gonna,
Yeah, of course.
and I don't think that girl's gonna end up going either.
She at least seemed pretty cool, and like I don't know, they do seem like legitimate, honest people. I even told them like, hey, we got this Flattoberfest thing coming up. I'm going this next weekend. Like after they already seemed like just kind of normal, honest flat earthers, and even if they weren't, I mean, they'd get vetted out there. They seemed at least cool enough for me to holler that at them.
Well, I'm just saying whether she's legit or not, I'm saying I don't think they're gonna come up with the money by that time.
Yeah.
And there's where my question lies. What happens to it if they don't make enough to go, or is like Duffy or maybe a wealthy benefactor, because there's a lot of those flying around, will cover the deficit of whatever she doesn't raise or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I could see it happening either way.
So I'm just I'll be curious to see how that rolls. I just find it very, very hard to believe that a guy who is a financial advisor, planner, broker, got scammed from an email.
I agree.
I find that really hard to believe, and then he just wants to play it off like, oh, I'm just a trusting pastor, and I'm a Christian, so I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. No, you don't. No broker does that. They vet shit. Okay.
That is not how financial people operate. Yeah,
No,
I'm with you on that. Yeah. What up, RG?
Money Monday. What's up, buddy? How are you? What's up, South?
What's going on, brother?
Oh man, I was just flipping through channels. And I seen you all late birds up, so I figured I'd join and say hey.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I heard you talking about earlier about supporting what you supporting what you like. And I agree, man. Purchase things from your fellow flat earthers that are starting businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the Truth Max. You ever hear of that? Or you ever get any stuff?
What is it?
The Truth Max, the Flat Earth Trail mix that they had.
No, I didn't get any. I got some of that
pretty
blue
good.
dot. I got some of that blue dot hot sauce. That shit's
I saw
nice
that
though.
out
That's
there.
good. That's good, man. I like that. That shit. Yeah, that's pretty good hot sauce. I'm usually
waiting
a
on the,
Cholula guy.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That's usually
I
my
was
shit.
going to say I'm waiting on the word salad dressing.
Word salad.
Yeah,
salad.
that'll probably come out.
I
The
could
spicy
live.
Stella Girl.
I could live 100 lifetimes without hearing the term word salad again. It's like these
Right.
idiots get onto something and they just beat it to death it's just like, okay, wow, learn something new for crying out loud,
Yeah.
And I look
Same
at it
script.
like this. I look at it like this because a lot of times people say something and I hear these people go, oh, it's word salad. And I'm like, I had no problem understanding that. To me, it's like saying, I'm a dipshit, and I'm going to tell you I'm a dipshit on an object that I could use to look and see what the words that I didn't understand actually mean. That's what it looks like to me. It's like I'm a dipshit, and I'm going to remain a dipshit, okay? Because I don't understand words that you're saying.
And I even heard word salad used in a different video outside of Flat today, and it was the guy Adam Carolla. Do you have any opinion on him, Sav?
Adam Carolla.
Yeah.
Wasn't he on a show?
Listen, I think that anytime someone gets to a level of notoriety, such as many of these, they're already compromised. Okay,
And they
because
won't talk
whoever's
about
behind
certain stuff,
promoting
yeah.
them is not going to be on the legit agenda. I can guarantee you that. And these people get to those high levels through promotion. They have promoters. They have people that are putting out a PR campaign for them. You see? And I
Yeah.
have to wonder, I'll listen to what they say, and I take it with what it is. Okay, I heard some guy that has supposed notoriety say this. How does it set with me? And is it really what that guy thinks, or is it just part of a script? See, that's where I have to start.
No, I totally hear you on that. And I only asked that because he was clipped up in one robot polisher, kind of saying something positive about flat, yet then even when I heard him today, he said, and maybe he's just joking about it, but he goes, I'm sitting there looking far off in ahead of me and I can see the earth curvature, but like maybe he's just saying that jokingly, but he's clipped up in Robot Polisher one time. He was on Howie Mandel's podcast, and Howie Mandel has a guy who works there who's a flat earther. So they were talking about that guy with Adam Carolla, and then Howie goes like, this guy that we have here, he's a flat earther, but he's the nicest guy. He'd honestly is such a good guy, everything. And then Adam goes, what's his stance on vaccines? And then Howie goes, and then Adam goes, I already know his stance on vaccines. Like, of course he's not. And that was in a Robot Polisher, like that little bit, but I don't know. I guess it is hope that he would be a flat earther or something. So just maybe that, but he said word salad talking about Kamala and Oprah when they were talking to each other. That's word salad. That's nothing.
Oh, well, yeah.
A bunch of words. Yeah.
Yeah. The significance of the passage of time. And it's like, shut up. You're just
What's
filling
that one
up
phrase
the
she kept
space
on saying?
Yeah, you're just filling up the space with words. It's not really nothing of any substance coming out. And definitely not
unburdened. Yeah.
and definitely not answering the question that's posed to them. It's just, and these people just go, I don't know. That's why I say I don't think they're really people. I think they're just placeholders. They're just like placeholders, filling a void. That's basically it. They're just part of the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to distinguish that, but I think that there's like only like a certain percentage of us that are actually real, and the rest of these fucking people are nothing but seat fillers.
Yeah. I hear you. And then people
and they think.
Oh no, you're good.
Sorry, man. Go ahead.
No, I got distracted reading a Rethink comment on Adam Carolla. But what up, Rethink?
I got you, man. Yeah. A lot of them people are just lost. Like political people condemn us, condemn the sites we visit, condemn our way of payment. Like if someone wants to donate, bro, they're not gonna the real ones of us, they're not gonna stop us. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious by now, but they think we're dangerous because we don't give vaccines and mercury filled bullshit.
Well, they find us dangerous. They find us dangerous because we think. That's the biggest thing. We're actionary and not reactionary, and they can't have that. They can't have that. They can't have you thinking for yourself.
We challenge it.
Yeah.
They didn't like it during 2020.
No. And listen, it's just not going to run when they run it again. It's not going to work. This is why while we were distracted with the Diddy thing, they turned around and put us up in the WHO treaty, the WHO treaty. A lot of people don't know that was going on. They're all worried about who Diddy was being a butt pirate to, and they're not paying attention to what's really going on. I got some shit on that I'll show here in a little bit. What's happening, Greg?
Dude, what's going on? Why is that chick disqualified?
Okay, so she's not disqualified. So what it was these people, you know how the contest was working, right, Greg?
No, actually, don't.
All right. So here's what it was. Duffy came out and made a video and said that some wealthy person had decided that they would donate the money for one person to go to a flat earther to go to Antarctica, right?
Yep.
So Duffy started this golden ticket contest where you had to be a flat earther for a certain amount of time, and you had to send an email and possibly a short video explaining, you know, how you came to your flat earth journey and da 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 da. And then he was going to select who the winner was to receive this gift from an anonymous wealthy person, right? So he went through this whole thing. He brought all the contestants up. There were 10 of them, 10 finalists. And then just like The Bachelor giving out a rose, he eliminated one by one with dramatic music and everything else like that too. Okay?
I saw that.
All right. So they I mean, it was cringe. And then that girl won. Well, then he came out the next day and said that he had been scammed. There was no wealthy person. That person had lied to him. It was a flat earther that pulled a prank on him.
Oh,
By merely sending him an email. Okay, then we're talking about a broker, a financial advisor, a guy that works in finances got scammed by basically the Nigerian prince email.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Sure you did. So now what he just did was like, okay, so just like in the Charlie Bucket story, even though one of the tickets turned out to be fake, there was still hope that Charlie could get that ticket. And so he started a GoFundMe page for this chick
Crap.
so that she can get the money to be able to go.
They picked her because she was hot, and she's like, "I have a golden ticket."
First person they eliminated, Greg, was a dude that has all the infrared equipment and shit that you would need on an expedition like this, and he was the first one they cut out. Boom.
Yeah.
We're gonna choose the chick from some obscure social app that hardly no one has ever heard of. Okay.
Now, I have heard from people that app
Classic.
has been around, but still, it is just an app, and YouTube is the top dog, even though YouTube is sketch. Like, it is sketch, but YouTube is the top one, and just some app. What is that? Like, I mean, Discord is a thing, too, but it's not like I don't know, not the big dog.
Discord's like a trailer park, too.
Yeah.
It really is.
I thought it was like a Discord when I first went in. Yeah.
Thank you for cleaning that up for me. That's all I have.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's where we're at with this now. And so then that begs the question, I can't see somebody going ahead and going through with an elaborate contest and shit like that without making sure they got the money first.
Yeah.
Without making sure that do we have some money in an escrow account or something like that? I'm not even a broker. That's what I would do.
That's why this dude's under investigation, dude.
I agree. I'd be like, show me the money. Money.
Yeah, I'd be like, that's all well and good, but I'm not.
The FDIC is calling up his ass.
People out there willing to toss out $35,000-$40,000.
Yeah, and even if it was that, okay, send me a screenshot of your bank account before I even consider it. Like, I have to see something,
No, that's why I'm saying this whole thing was set up from the beginning.
See you guys.
And Duffy's in on it. Duffy's in on this whole thing. Oh, damn, I got scammed by an email. Oh shit, look at there.
Duffy.
Well, let's see.
Did you say you're out of here, Greg?
Yeah, I'm out of here.
Well,
right,
so
Greg, did you think at all about Flattoberfest? I get it is far, but did you consider it?
I was teasing Barb. I want to have one here in Colorado. Like when there was one in 2018, and that was when I was just transitioning to Flat Earth.
Yeah.
And I didn't go to it.
Duff Daddy.
Duff Daddy.
No, I got you. I do not regret going to my first one.
I want to have something local for us crazies here.
Yeah. We do a meetup group out here in Arizona. We meet up kind of often. Right now we're on a lull, but after Flattoberfest, right back to it.
I'm in the shithole of Aurora, Colorado, just north of Barb. Barb lives in
Have you gone on the app and tried to do something?
northwest. What?
Have you gone on that flat app and tried to ever do a meet?
No.
Oh, you should.
I thought that the app was kind of a scam. I didn't actually know it was legit.
Yeah, no, it's cool. That's how I started our group out here. I like the app personally.
Oh, okay. I'll check it out.
Oh,
Hey,
JP.
Salt,
Okay.
Thank
I wanted to ask you something. I have uh, damn, sorry, y'all. I have a video um uh, that a flat earther posted, supposedly 24-hour sun,
Mhm.
360 cam. Um, I'm gonna send it to you, Saab, and you make a decision if you want to watch it. You know what I
Alright.
mean?
Right.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right then. Yeah. So, yeah, there's some. I'm wondering. Um, it's like, I don't know, man. It's like I have this gift where I can just see scams. I can see something when it's just that's bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at that whole thing and I'm going, okay, this is really bullshit. This whole thing is really bullshit. He didn't get scammed. He was in on it. We're gonna fake like I got scammed, and then we'll start this GoFundMe. And my prediction is that everybody's gonna forget and nobody's gonna wonder where that GoFundMe money goes.
With this golden ticket thing.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And now I wonder on that, but even just this whole thing in general, I think that kind of nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen from this. Sure, even if they go, they're not going to see anything. It's going to be cloudy, or the trip's going to get canceled or something. It's going to be just silly to look back at next year. I totally
Of
think.
course. It's gonna be
I've
just
thought
like
that
that.
the whole time.
What was that thing that Greater Sapien was going on? They was
Yeah.
gonna have that polar flight. And then the guy's like, oh no, I'm not doing it. It's like, what?
I wasn't even around for that, but yeah, I've heard probably on here about that.
Mm-hmm. They just run the same thing over and over again. That's what archons do, man.
Yeah.
They pervert.
I'm still
that
having a
which
good
has already
time.
been.
Yeah. In my life.
This is why all their arguments are still. See, we're getting more and more sophisticated as we go, learning
Yeah.
more and more as we go along. And you look, and these guys are still using the same old tired shit from 2016, 2017. Same old tired shit.
We've heard it all before.
Yep.
How many times you got to explain it? You've done debates with them, dude. I even called in to your show. The first time I called in here was after your debate with McToon, and you can just see that if you watch it again. I mean, I don't know, have you watched that again? But either way, you were there.
Yeah.
It's the same typical shit each time, And for that debate, he just strategically was like, "Can you steal, man? Blah blah blah," or something, and it was just so stupid. And we've seen all their stupid conversational tactics they do. It's the same typical shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And when it comes down to it, it's like Lucky says, when it comes down to it, all they have is their pseudoscience and mockery.
Yeah.
Trust the science. Trust the science.
And I will say, Stav,
I'm gonna
I'd
send
like
this
to
over.
see that nose picking picture going around a little more. Anytime, his name's brought up, that'd be cool if you could just slide that in, him picking his nose, across the screen or something.
I got
I
that.
don't do
in
anything,
here.
but I think that'd be a good idea.
It'd be fun. Look, the thing is I'm not giving them guys any more relevance, man.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. I mean, I've already heard everything they got to say ad nauseum. It's factually wrong. It's been demonstrated as wrong. They've been corrected on all their points millions of times by myself and many others. And it came to me that the only way that they even subsist is through our participation.
Yeah.
Without
they
us,
got
they
nothing.
don't. Without us, they don't have anything. And this is why, as people have started to just kind of boycott them and go, them, we're not playing with them anymore, right? You're seeing more and more of them putting fake flat earthers that you've never heard of before up there so that they can beat them up.
Yeah.
I've seen them do that on a number of occasions. It's like, oh, come on, man. You guys are really desperate now. So I just don't give them I don't give them a whole lot of attention.
Yeah, I don't engage with them. And then one of them that, isn't too bad out of the Globies is that Ruhif guy. What do you think of him?
Ruhif?
Yeah. Boring
again,
as ever.
I think, again, another controlled opposition type.
Yeah.
I think there's
Sorry, I
somebody
keep
that
dropping off. Oh, sorry, man. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't Fuck, I forgot what I was saying now. Shit.
Yeah, just about that Ruhif guy, because I just saw Jaron had like a debateism channel on Telegram. So I joined and I've said a couple things to Ruhif in the chats, a little poking fun, or just the snoozy emoji or whatever. So then he's like, "Oh, you trying to debate or whatever?" I'm not really trying to debate, I'm having a fine time working my job, being into this stuff. What's the point of debating, dude? Nothing gets through to you guys. But he at least seems more normal than the other ones. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's not quite as venomous. He's not quite as toxic as Craig or Toon is. Those two are just certifiably psychopathic.
Couple of wackos.
Yeah, they're just whack jobs.
And then do you watch the debates when they're together and they kind of like do a little pitter patter off of each other?
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, that is disgusting.
It is. It is. Brokeback Globe.
Yeah, man, that is hard to watch.
He's got Brokeback Globe going on over there, man. Motherfuckers. I swear to God. All right, I see
man,
it. Got
that's
that
where
link.
Duffy came from. That's where Duffy came from. McToon. Yeah. That's his buddy, right?
Something was said like that, and I still wonder about that because he did say, "My friend who has never been refuted." Well, it turns out it's Toon. Yeah, that was an old clip. And now he's nice being friends with him. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big lie. He laughed straight through his teeth. Hey, so if I drop that,
yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's like live streaming.
Okay.
If this is live, how is that thing moving so fast?
They were doing that on 2.5.
They're just live streaming their time lapse. Yeah, I'll have to get into that. I'm not really wanting to dissect the video during this period of time right now, but I will. I got it there. I'll look at it after a while.
Hey, Stav, I do got something random as a question for you. I wasn't going to hang too long, but I just want to ask you, have you ever heard of this? So Saturn, in beginning of next year, like March or something, the rings are going to disappear. Have you ever heard of that before?
No.
Yeah, me neither. And I mentioned it on Karen's show, and then she kind of dug in on it a little bit. And apparently March, and then in November, the rings are going to, now what they say is that like the rings will get to be like a knife blade where it's at the perfect angle with us where they'll disappear. But have you ever heard of the rings disappearing? I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of that either. Well, I've heard that said that if you get to where, your right perfect view of the edge of the rings, you wouldn't see them, but I can't see that either. I don't know what they're talking. They're always saying there's also telling us we're going to be getting a temporary second moon. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I did. Have you heard much on it? Because I heard a little more on it.
So I just,
not a good video.
Pick up a new.
I heard that like you're not really going to be able to see it. Like definitely not naked eye, and you even need like a 30-inch telescope to see it or something. It's super small. And how do they even know that? What's the difference? Like,
well, this is what they're saying about it here.
Is getting a new moon, but it's only temporary. Instead of crashing to Earth, an asteroid named 2024 PT5 will become a mini-moon when it gets trapped in orbit. The small asteroid, around 10 meters in diameter, won't stick around for long. A team of researchers studied the orbit and concluded it will be in Earth's orbit between September 29th and November 25th, before falling back into the Sun's orbit. Unfortunately, its size will make it hard to spot on most amateur telescopes.
Yeah, 10 meters?
Why didn't it get affected back here when it was going? Hang on.
And it's 10 meters.
It's right close by the moon.
Concluded it will be in Earth's orbit between September 29th and November 25th.
There. When it were right here, how come it didn't get affected by the moon?
Yeah, if mass attracts mass, that should slam into us.
That's insane. Well, the moon and this thing were right. Look at. Let me go back just a little bit more. See, look at. Now watch the gravity of the moon. This is the moon right here, and this is supposedly this asteroid, right?
Yeah.
Fifth,
There's nothing
before
happening
falling
to the
back
moon.
into the sun's
Go ahead and
orbit.
pull it.
Unfortunately, its size will make it hard to spot on most amateur telescopes.
And it's 10 meters?
2024
Why are they even
PT5
recording?
is expected to make a return visit to Earth, entering our orbit in 2025 and again in 2055.
I hate how they call it moon too. It's not gonna have phases.
No.
10-meter moon. What the
Right. And they said, they got people all talking about this.
Oh yeah.
It's not real.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
more of this final offensive to focus your attention on space and asteroids and planets and all this other
Mhm.
shit. Because this final offensive they're doing, this is why they're launching so many damn rockets off lately. Right? SpaceX, Boeing Starliner, all this shit. We've had more space launches in the last year than we've had in the last 5 years.
Yep.
Why? Because that tipping point has happened. They were at that tipping point, and these people are desperately scrambling to get people focused on the Earth being a ball in space. And that's
sure.
what this is all about. Oh, you won't be able to see it, but trust us, there's an asteroid that's acting as a second moon. You're not going to be able to see it or anything, but trust us, it's there.
Yeah, and that's why I think it is a big deal. Just to, be vocal with how you are a flat earther. I think it's a thing, and I mean, I've talked to my parents. They're not flat, but they just at least know that I'm saying it's flat. So then, even my dad saw something on that second moon thing, and then he tagged me in it. Is this real? And I just said, come on, it's as real as all the rest of their stuff. Like, you're not going to see it, and that's what I told him after I looked into it a little. Like, you're not going to see it. So, yeah, okay, sure, it's real. Yeah.
I got a thing over here too that I found. I'll probably end up showing that. It was going over from the ISS live feed, right? And showing all these city lights and streets and everything else like that. But then when it's not nighttime, you don't see any buildings, you don't see
Exactly.
you don't see any streets, you don't see anything. It's just a cartoon you're looking at.
Yeah, there's one channel, Tell Me What You Love on YouTube, and he does like a music thing with Flat Earth. It's one of my favorite channels, but he says in one of his videos, that's never been seen. That's just a Hollywood thing where, it's going over at night and you're seeing all the lights up. That's not how it works. No, that's never been seen.
Watch this. This is hilarious.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, fucking Diddy looking over his shoulder, right?
Yeah, Space Force will protect us.
That's wild.
Hey, Saab, do you know when Space Force was established as a military branch? You know what the date is that it was established?
I'm wanting to say 2017 or 2018.
No, it was December 20th. So the day before the winter solstice, 2019.
In 2019, it was. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
I thought Obama talked about that a lot.
So right before that sketch ass 2020,
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, I heard some shit about that. That they're comprised of like Delta Force, SEALs, different branches. But yeah, they all came together for sure.
I heard the thing that it's like about the inner space, not the outer space. And what does that mean? Like
Cyberspace.
internet? Yeah, cyberspace type of thing.
Well, the neutrino detector is does a lot more than we think. Damn, I wish I could kind of
I heard
jerky right
about
now.
neutrinos back in my like taking astronomy classes days, and like they say that neutrinos go through planets and stuff, you know, and they come
Yeah.
from the sun, and I've always thought those were sketch, even from when I took the classes back in the day.
I know. Well, how did you ever find one? That's what I'm wanting
Yeah.
to know.
Am I
You
getting
know.
hit with neutrinos at all times,
Don't make sense.
and they're going right through me?
Where is that?
It's really a big machine that when there's pulses. You ever seen when you look up at the night sky, like you know, when something appears and jets by you at unbelievable speeds, they measure that energy. And it's also radar, and it detects and it puts out, can cause earthquakes. That's what I heard.
Well, just using frequencies to do that.
Yeah, they off the firmament. Yeah.
I
Hey,
think
Dojo.
what was it? Didn't
guys.
Tesla create an earthquake with a 15-pound weight oscillating it?
Yeah, he brought down the building.
Yeah, that's the story.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on, Dojo? How are you tonight, brother?
Yeah, alive and breathing, still kicking.
Hell
Glad
yeah.
to see you guys here.
So I was just about the thing I was talking about the city lights. This is kind of cool. Watch this.
And we already know the indoctrinated people will just call me crazy while they're sitting back sipping their soy lattes with a shot of fluoride in it. And in case you haven't noticed by now, we don't care. But for the free thinkers, do you ever actually look at this? Really look. What do you see? And more importantly, what do you not see? You don't see any buildings, any roads, anything, right? And they're going to say that's too high, so how could you possibly see it? So then we look at this, and we're seeing lights. What lights are we seeing? What lights are strong enough that we're seeing them from space, but we can't see any buildings? This is Ireland from space. No buildings, no roads, no nothing. This is Ireland from space at night. You can see lights. What are those lights? Why are you seeing lights? This is Italy from space during the day. Italy from space at night.
Yeah.
Can't see a single structure, anything during the day, but you can see street lights at night, house lights, porch lights. I got it. Maybe they're lighters from Taylor Swift concert. That must be it. And for those of you who stuck around through this, while I was searching through the NASA footage to find this, found this cool little thing. What do you think's happening here? It's supposed to be from NASA's live feed. And for those of you who say it's not, here you go. ISS. All we're asking is that when you see stuff like this, think logically, think independently. And of course, don't forget to watch the Phone Booth podcast. Peace.
Yeah, and I've always logically thought on looking at videos like that, like you see the size of the clouds. The cloud is covering the whole entire like country. Like I get some days it does look like the cloud goes on forever, but yeah, you can tell that all the videos are just fake. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna download that because that's cool. That's a good one. It's a good one to hang on to. If I can ever get the stupid program to work.
Hey, yo, Sav, I'm probably gonna dip out. Thanks for having me, though.
All right,
Peace
man.
out,
Thanks for
Dojo,
coming up.
RP. Later, fellas.
Yeah, man. Take it easy,
I
bro.
got work early, so last day before I go out to Flattoberfest. If anyone's there, I'll see you there. I saw FE Nation in the chat. See you soon, dude.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I can't make it, but I have fun.
Yeah,
Let me
definitely will.
Copy that. Yeah. Paste it right there.
So
guess
Dojo, you said in the chat that you had it like different perspective of space.
yeah, like sometimes when I ask myself the question, like they got to pull it off, right? They got to keep the lies going. So at what point do those lies break down, and at what point can they sustain those lies? And at the moment, you know, I keep on thinking that they can make it to Mars, you know, Mars. But the question is, like, how are they going to make it to Mars? And then so it starts me speculating as to, like, okay, where is Mars? Because they have to pull it off somehow. Like most people would say that it's like Devon Island, right? I think Devon Island is kind of like a test run. And then what they're actually going to be doing is they're going to actually go beyond the ice wall, because we're always saying that there are more lands beyond the ice wall, right? And I think beyond the ice wall in those lands is where their studio for Mars is going to be, because they have to keep this lie going. And so long as they have a destination to go to, they will be able to sustain the lies. And then who knows where this thing's going to end, 2030, 2040, 2050, 2060.
This year. It's going to end this. It's going to end within this next year.
Like the whole charade. The whole charade. Because like the thing is, the Artemis missions, is the ball has been kicked down the road many times, right? And I've heard that their landing spot is going to be somewhere near the dark side of the moon.
Shit. Did you ever see the movie Capricorn 1?
No, I'm not familiar with that movie.
Okay, you can find it on YouTube. I highly suggest to watch it. It's got Charles Brolin in it. It's got Sam Waterston, O.J. Simpson. It's got a number. Elliot Gould is in it. Karen Black. And what it is at the last minute, these guys they're gonna be the first manned mission to Mars, right? And at the last minute, they come up and get them out of the capsule. And they're like, "What are you talking about? We're worried about no, just get out and come with us." They go down the escape tube. They leave. They go ahead and shoot the rocket off anyway. They fly these guys off to some little abandoned air base in the desert. And he explains to them, look, we found out at the last minute the life support wouldn't take care of you. You'd be dead before you even got there. And with the amount of money in the Senate going down our butts about the budget and everything, and people losing interest in the space race, here's what we've decided to do. We're going to fake it. And they're like, well, how do you know we're going to go along with it? And he goes, well, let's just say if you don't agree to go along with it, you know, your whole families are on planes right now, and I can't guarantee their safety. And they've got this whole mock-up of the Martian landscape with a lander, and they've got a capsule there for them to be in to talk and everything else like that. And they have to pretend that they're doing this for months. And that they're up there going through space on their way to Mars. So what I'm getting at is that it would be much easier, as they've been doing it, is to just fake it right here. I've got photographs of me when I went to go pick up some rhyolite. You know that red rock, that volcanic rock that's red that you get for your landscaping? That's rhyolite. They get it out of the cones of volcanoes. And there was one near my house in California that was a whole cone. I drive my Jeep right down into that cone and collect buckets of that shit. And the photographs I've got, I was joking. I said, look, I beat Elon to Mars by 2 years, man. Look, I'm already there. There I am, walking around, collecting samples. My Jeep's up there and everything. And you'd be hard-pressed to say it wasn't Mars, except for the fact that there I am standing with no protective clothing and a Jeep, of course. But outside of that, it looked exactly like what we're seeing that they tell us of Mars. You only get the perception of what they put in front of your screen. You're with blinders. They can show you, well, look at this massive protest. Yeah. And all these people with signs all crowded together, chanting and everything else like that. But then you zoom the camera back and find out that it's only 20 people all gathered together for the camera. And the rest of the street's completely empty. But from that perception, you got it that the whole area is just crowded up with protesters.
Yeah, so, well, like
I don't think
Yeah,
they're
look
going
how they
anywhere
did.
near your imagination, man. That's the only place they're going.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that we kind of like try to reverse engineer how they're going to do all this stuff. Like Mars as a planet in outer space, yeah, that would be fake.
Yeah,
but
they'll keep kicking the can down the road with that, just like they do with the moon.
Well, I think the ultimate can down the road would be getting to Alpha Centauri. That's an impossibility that they can't pull off.
Mm-hmm.
But going to another destination such as Mars is something that they can pull off, because they have to also convince the people involved in the mission as well. So yeah, you're right. Like if it collapses within the next year because it's so fraudulent that it's not sustainable, then I can see that too. But like they put in a lot of resources and money into this whole thing to fail. And so like I'm just wondering how they're going to make it succeed.
Well, the whole thing is this. The whole thing that that the money's going into is into actually controlling you and your mind. That's where the money's at. That's where the importance of this lies. It's in the control of your mind, to convince you of your reality being something completely different than what it actually is.
Yep.
It's tantamount that they have to keep that on. And just by kicking, all you have to do is kick the can down the road. The collective memory is so short. It's so short. They can come up with an excuse. Hey, how come we haven't been back to the moon? Oh, we lost the tapes, man. Oh, okay.
So then I guess the question is like, how far can they kick it down the road? Like, are we talking 2030, 2040? But you're saying in the next year.
I don't know. They've been doing it for 50 years.
Yeah,
They've been kicking it down the road for 50 years now, ain't they? Successfully telling you about how it's only going to be a couple more years, all the way back to George Bush 1, going, it's only, next year we're going to go to the moon. Here we go. We're going to go to the moon within the next 2 years. We get up to Obama, and we're going to go up to the moon. We're going to send people to the moon. They keep saying that, and saying that. It never happens. The people cheer. They send a couple of rockets up. They crash in the ocean. They send the videotape. Look, our guys are up there being nominal. And everybody goes, yay. And they just go on with the same bullshit. Let's create a drama. Oh, I know what we'll do. We'll say that Witchy Poo is stuck up on the International Space Station because of the flawed Boeing Starliner. Let's have that drama. We got to reinforce this in people's heads that space is real. You're on a planet. You're rotating out and you're nothing. You're a little insignificant. They got to keep running that. And people are going, bullshit. People are waking up to it. It's not working. And they can't come up with any new tricks.
Yeah, I think we're not falling for it. But what about the masses? The masses, yeah, if it gets to like 2040 and they're still falling for it, what does that say?
It brings us down. Who are the masses? I mean, how many of these masses are actually just these soulless place takers, seat fillers? And I think that there's a great majority of what we call society are nothing more than seat fillers. Like when they have the Academy Awards, if they've got empty seats, they pay people to dress up and be in the seats to make it look full. And I think that there's like people that are not really people. They're just soulless placeholders.
Yeah, I think they call them NPCs at the moment. So, yeah. So that
all
opens up a
fake.
whole other can of worms.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I mean, like destroying the entire population. And let's see, is that guy the one that I see? Okay, this one might be pretty good.
So then, like, I guess if we're talking about NPCs, can any of our family members be NPCs? Like my wife, my children.
Possible, right?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I see some people and I watch them in the world, and I think to myself, I'll be looking at them. I'm thinking, wonder what's actually going through that person's mind right now. Because they'll just be there with no expression on their face, just doing their part to exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide, and it's like, or I'll see a whole family of people at a restaurant. They're all sitting together and nobody is talking to anybody. They're just eating and staring off into space. There's no conversation going on. There's no substance. I'm just like looking at them going, what's it like to be those people? What's it like to just sit there with 4 other people, not say a word,
Stare at
and
each other.
eat?
Yep. I hear you, bro.
Well, yeah, this is it's a very interesting tangent, you know, because like I get it back to the Georgia Guidestones, right? So the Georgia Guidestones are the guide, and then in the Georgia Guidestone, I think that was a telegraph, but it's inverted. So the main point of the Georgia Guidestones was to say that we will reduce the world population to 500 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we invert that, then it could mean, to me anyway, it just means that we will increase our population to 500 million, not because that's the inversion of we will
Their
reduce the world
bloodline.
to 500 million. Okay, so then if it's we will increase our population to 500 million, who are they? And this is where I suspect that because they need to coordinate all the minds, or like I call it a hive mind. They need to coordinate the hive mind in order to propagate NASA, the political system, the celebrity system, the university system, and the money system. And they need to coordinate within that hive mind. And that's really the reason why I believe that there are 500 million of them.
It's the L-ites. Oh, we call them elites. Think about that word, L-ites.
Well, my suspicion is that what the elites do, they engage in ceremonies that profane and demoralize people, such as, you know, grooming children and doing all these perversions in order to empty the vessel. And then once that vessel is empty, they then channel they channel themselves into those empty vessels. And this goes back to like, yes, is everybody that you meet actually, you know, human? Well, if we're going like with this round number of 500 million, no. I think if it's 500 million, 1 in 16 people that you meet are actually part of the conspiracy. And really, that's the only way that they can sustain this conspiracy without any whistleblowers. Because this conspiracy has been going on since like what? Since you were alive, since you were young, and you've been doing it longer than I have. Like my question then is always like, how can they sustain it and pull it off without any flaws, without anybody ever whistleblowing? And then like when I try to reverse engineer that question, it always comes back to a hive mind. And then because that hive mind is,
when they destroyed the Georgia Guidestones and never did catch whoever did it, I think that they did it. I think that that was a signal. That was okay. It's kickoff time. It's kickoff time.
Yep.
And that brings me to like, okay, so, you know, like how many times have they done this? We get to a point where the shit stops working on us, and then some kind of series of cataclysms or one huge cataclysm takes place, takes out most of the people, and they repopulate using kids. You know, and run it again.
Every city is buried. Like we built on top of like 3 or 4 civilizations all across the world. Yeah,
No,
you tell me. Crazy.
This right here. This is some of that. I mean, all this shit that's underground. I'm like, why is all this stuff underground, man?
So you've asked me many times, what did they do with the bodies? Where's the remains from the mud flood? Been hesitant to show.
The catacombs, man. All those bones and those bones have been boiled. Those bones have been boiled. That's why they're preserved.
But I've talked about it many times. The extensive catacombs of Paris, over 180 miles that we know of tunnels containing over 6 million remains. And let's see how they are kept. That's right, those are exactly what you think they are. Stacked exactly like that. So apparently this all took place when Paris ran out of room in the cemeteries. So they just piled up all these bones nice and neatly, cleaned them up, and arranged them ever so delicately in a non-sinister, evil type of way. These catacombs in Paris are just one of many spread all over this world that have been uncovered, containing remains just like this. The catacombs in Paris is just one of the largest that we've been told about. And they happily provide tours of, just like all those underground cities that are rediscovered and they give neat little tours of. And ending here in Paris, here's just a few more examples of these catacombs and crypts filled with cleaned remains. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
So where does all those bones actually come from? I don't think they dug them up out of cemeteries, make more room to bury people and shit, and then said, okay, we're going to polish these all up and we're going to put them down here. Was there maybe some kind of some kind of a cannibalistic event that took place? You know, are those trophies?
I think partially, I think that when they channel stuff, like all the bones are crystalline structures. So that.
Am I the only one that can't understand what he's saying? He's breaking up.
It's my spasms, bro. But yeah, crystalline structures, energies. I think they know that. Whoever buried them. Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of something like a monumental altar, to like a sacrificial altar where all those bones are. It appears that way. And then an altar is where you sacrifice something to be granted something. And then so like all those bones look like they've been like set up there in order to grant them the power to, well, like, you know, they say they run the world, don't they? So,
well, you know, Diana, Princess Diana, she, that car crash happened on the 13th pillar inside of the Pont de la Lune, which is the tunnel of the moon, is what that means.
No way, bro. That's wild.
So Diana is also the name of the moon goddess. And directly beneath where that car crash happened is an altar in Paris, in the catacombs, built out of human bones to the moon goddess Diana. And you can't just, that's a hell of a lot of coincidence going on right there. That's a hell of a lot of coincidence.
as to what it all means is anybody's guess anyway. So
was it a ritual? Was her death a ritual?
Yeah, like something very similar to probably what is happening with Diddy at the moment. So it's sort of like a mass psychosis ceremony on the people at the moment, trying to get people to like look at that sort of stuff.
Dude, that dude was partying, wasn't he?
Well, I haven't been paying attention to it.
Holy crap, man. Some of the stuff that's coming out, and like you said, very distracting. It distracted from the fact that they just signed a thing that put us in cahoots with the WHO and that World Health Treaty that they're trying to push. And that went right over everybody's head because they're worried about, who Diddy's being a butt pirate with. And everybody knew. I mean, come on, man. It was so sus. Here he is hanging out with this young white boy, Justin Bieber. And Bieber hanging out with Obama and the rest of these crazy, and it's like, there's some weird shit going on. There really is some weird shit. Why are they putting this out in my face? What's going on? What is the real agenda?
Well, it's kind of like
I remember.
Here's a thing that came out here too that says looks like Michelle Obama RAPED'd Justin Bieber when he was underage.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Perverted people, man. That's fucking crazy.
And that, what the hell is, but there again, when they say this, the stars fall, right? The falling stars, which are falling stars are, of course, demons cast down to earth. And what's happening to all these stars? What we call stars. Why do we call them stars in the first place? Why do we correlate them with the lights in the sky, which the lights in the sky have always been correlated with deities, with higher beings. This is why they have those names. And so here we got these people, they call themselves stars. And now they're falling. All of them are
stars
falling.
as in celebrities as in idols. So the
Yes.
fallen star are the idols, and the idols is what humanity is worshipping. So, but then really, what is an original? What is the authentic? What is the what is the authentic here? And I think the idol is sort of like a distraction from actually, like, it's not selfish, but like it's worshipping yourself, because you're the original. You're not the idol. You're flesh and blood, and
right.
Like if we're
I think the original.
we are the original. So, but then
Well,
the original.
I think the originals. Sorry, Al. Were a lot bigger, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I think this gets back to kind of like a definition of what really God is, because every time we say the word God, we always imagine a being that has the power to, move things with their mind. But I think we have to redefine what we mean by when we say God. And one of the components of God is the ability to create, right? And then this is where
God is a title.
Yeah.
It's not a name.
It's a title of a being of a being that has certain attributes. And then when we talk about God, we say that God is the Father. So, men are fathers. And then God is the creator. We create stuff. We create cars, we create houses, we create ideas, we create books. So we're creators. So sometimes I think that religion distracts us from actually embracing our divinity and then seeing the divinity in all of us. And then I think the thing is with Globe Earth, the main agenda behind Globe Earth is to actually hide the seat of our power. Because when I try to reverse engineer some of these things, okay, they tell us that the sun are burning balls of fusion, which means that they're not alive. And then if I invert that, I can actually say that, well, the stars are actually conscious beings. And I actually think that the stars are the seat of our souls, is where our consciousness emanates from. And that's the reason why they go to so much effort to redefine what the stars are.
Mm-hmm.
And then the stars, to me, what I call the organic mainframe. They're a point-to-point coordinate system that renders the reality. And then depending on where the stars are, will determine how the reality is rendered. And then so what they try to do is they try to take away our awareness of the fact that we are the stars. And when they do that, they have the ability to affect our mind. And when they affect our mind, it affects the stars. And when it affects the stars, it affects how the reality is written. Because the saying goes, it's written in the stars. Now, what does that actually mean? I think that actually means that the stars themselves render the reality. And then so, as they affect our consciousness, the reality that is rendered is what is their agenda.
Well, I look at it like this. This is, of course, all just speculation. I don't have any proof of this, but I do know that this is real, though, that all matter, reality, is nothing more than frequency, vibration, and energy.
Yep.
And we know that sound is an integral thing with that. Now you think and look and see how many different cultures, including many of the early Christian ideals, that the stars are actually sentient beings or angels. And we look at the idea of these angels are always depicted with musical instruments, either singing or playing trumpets or lyres or some kind of a musical instrument involved. And I got to thinking one day, What if all these stars are nothing more than a grand symphony that is playing our reality into existence? And like you said, by being able to influence the pitch and tone of different sections or different players within that orchestra, you can affect the reality or the outcome of the music.
I like that idea, so. And also, yeah, you know those moon waves.
I'm not 100% convinced on
I think. Well, I think it's a refresh rate.
Well, see, I'm not 100% convinced that the moon wave is actually a real thing. I'm
Right.
not.
Okay.
And
I
as
gotcha.
time goes on, I become more and more skeptical of that. Just based on where I'm seeing in the whole scheme of things out here, you know. Hey, there's Crypt Rick. What's happening, Crypt Rick? I was did a great show on Crypt Rick the other day, last week on his podcast on Revolution Radio. Had a great time on there. Looking forward to doing it again. That should be a lot of fun. But yeah, it's but when it comes down to like when we get into some of these, like I heard people they get really mad arguing over points that can't be proven one way or the other. You know, and really what it comes down to is these people are arguing over beliefs and not realities. You know, we can look at all different types of evidence concerning things, but until we can actually verify, well, then all we have really is speculation. Like, is it possible that there's other lands beyond Antarctica? Yeah, sure. I believe it is very possible, right? Do I know it to be a fact? No, I don't. I don't know that at all. In fact, I think that the world is actually bigger than what we're told, even by a AE projection map, because we know that the coordinate system is tightly controlled. And I look at areas of vast ocean over especially in the South Pacific, where it would be so easy to hide an entire land that nobody would know about. Why? Nobody would ever fly over that or go there for any reason or in that direction. Get lost at sea. Those are dangerous waters, man. Those are dangerous waters. It would be easy to do that just within our known world. But also, I think that as best we can do, when you look at a Gleason's map, these globers love to say, well, it says it's this distance and that distance or anything, you know, and I'm like, listen, do you not realize that that map is not a geographic map, so to speak, as it is what it says at the very top, that it's a longitude and time calculator? Who's making that noise? I don't know who's making that noise. Anyway, it's a longitude and time calculator. So we know that what they ended up doing, because the actual meridians do spread apart as you go further south. But what they did is they just said, okay, well, screw it. Everything past the equatorial line is going to be just mirrored. We'll just mirror it. You know, they won't know any different until they go try to sail it.
Yeah, one of the anomalies about the world map is that 90% of the landmass is actually in the northern hemisphere, and that's quite strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Why is that?
Like it doesn't really match up to like what their physics is. If their physics is what they say it is, then like most of the land masses would be at the equatorial region. But
exactly. Yeah. And think about this: have you ever had a tire out of balance?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and the faster you go, the worse it is. The worse the car starts jumping. The car will start jumping. If your tire's out of balance a little bit, you'll feel it go whoa, 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 whoa. And the faster you go, that sucker will start to jump. So you got to get that so that its rotation is balanced, right? And you want to tell me, given what your globe looks like with all the freaking land basically on one side of it, the other side of it, there's nothing, right? How that sucker's spinning without going, rear, 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 like, you know, come on. It makes absolutely zero sense. But they'll buy onto it because they were told that for believing that and repeating it and knowing that, that made them smart. And so if you strip that away, you're threatening to take away their smart. That's taking away part of their identity. That was part of their whole identity.
Absolutely. Well, I just wanted to jump on the show and just to give some of my thoughts and to thank you for hosting the show. And
well, thanks for coming on, bud. Thank you. Anytime. You're a good guest.
Okay, awesome.
I'm going to go over a few more crazy things going on in the world here tonight. You're welcome to stay. You don't have to jump down. Found this thing about Tom Hanks. I haven't watched it yet, but so let's do that together. Uh-oh.
Wilson. Damn it.
This is a trip.
That's why this is our place. Good time, great taste. McDonald's, McDonald's. Good time, great taste. McDonald's.
Yeah, that was something I wondered about too with old Hanks and having that movie, The Man with One Red Shoe. I mean, what's that mean? You're halfway in the club?
Hey, bud, I've got a clown. The origins of clowns.
Oh yeah, I've seen
Freemason.
that.
You've seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
J Dreamers. Is that the same one?
I don't remember. I've seen it a while back. Yeah, I think so. You know, they got this thing.
This one was live.
Have you ever heard about the Clown Motel in Tonopah? The Clown Motel in Tonopah. This place is creepy as shit, man. I've been by there. There ain't no way you'd get me to stay there. Tonopah is like this really weird, like halfway ghost town, but the highway goes right through it. So everybody goes through there. But it's really, really creepy. And they've got this clown motel there. And it's everything there is a clown motif. People say it's right next to a graveyard too, for crying out loud. That's what's so crazy.
Damn.
Well, would you ride on an elevator to space? I don't think I would. The Japanese are supposedly building an elevator to space.
Well, they know it's not that far up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just don't think this is ever going to come to fruition, but let's see what they say.
Do you know that next year Japan is going to build a space elevator from Earth to space? That means now a human being can go to space with the help of an elevator. Now, even though you may find it science fiction to hear this, but it is absolutely true. This space elevator will take you about 36,000 kilometers from Earth to space. The work of this space elevator will start in 2025 and will end by 2050. This space elevator will be connected to a carbon nanotube cable from Earth to space, which is 20 times stronger than steel. And to support this elevator cable in space, 2 satellites will be combined to create a large base station, which will be able to support the entire elevator system. Let me tell you that in 2018, scientists at Shizuoka University tested a mini elevator in space. And now, based on that, the work of this elevator will start in 2025. Drop a 100. If you read this far, this shows that you are the part of 0.01% who actually finished what they start. If you are serious about changing life, then make sure to join our movements by living us a follow.
Okay, so what are your thoughts? Is this going to ever be? I'll be in
Do you know that next
I'll be in my
absolute
80s by the time they get this thing rolling. So I
think
don't
they'll pop. They'll pop about 300 kilometers. Yeah.
I don't think they'll get it up. I don't think they'll get it to go 2 kilometers. I don't think they'll be able to do it.
That's a big project, man. Science fiction. Feeding us bull crap.
What's the tallest skyscraper that they've ever made? You think about that. And then, this is going to be subject to the same bullshit, the same type of thing, wind, rain, weather. Plus when you get up there in the high, I don't see it happening, man. I just don't. It sounds like horse pucky to me.
And Japan gets hit with hurricanes as well.
Yeah, a lot of them, and earthquakes. And earthquakes, man. And earthquakes. Yeah, a lot of crazy shit going on there. What was this thing here? Something said there was mercenaries and shit in these migrant hotels. I saw a thing about that. We'll have to get into that another night.
Oh crap! That reminds me. New York, Chicago, they have the reserves, and a lot of them are in the lobbies of these big hotels. That's no bullshit, for real.
God, did you just saw this like on X or on internet? Because I'm skeptical.
Yeah, it was a guy walking by, and he was questioning.
He's the only video I've seen about that. That same guy went in there and he asked, and there was military people sitting there with their feet up on the desk and shit. Yeah, and I was like, how come nobody else is reporting on this at all?
It tripped me out.
Yeah, I mean, if it's real, but you got to be careful. There's people out here that just wanting to get clicks and likes and shit like that, and especially on X, especially these people that are using it to make money. So I'm skeptical. I'm like, okay, how many people have reported on this? Just this one guy, and he only did it that one time. Why am I not seeing any more about it? What's going on? So this might have something to do with it. Let's see what this is.
Ask you shit. I'm not asking you for a second. I'm gonna please step. Don't ask me nothing. I'm gonna ask you to please step out. Oh what? I'm gonna ask you to please what? Or I'm gonna call the police. Oh, you call who the fuck you want to call? Go ahead. Hey, call the police for me real quick. Yeah. Call 911. Fuck you think you talking to? Okay, who you call? 911. Just call 911.
Chump. We'll walk out. We're leaving. We're leaving. We're leaving.
What the fuck do you want to call?
Thank you, sir, for understanding.
You'll get what you're looking for fucking me. Only. I wish you touched me. I wish you touched me. No, I'm gonna shoot you. I wish you touched me, sir. Can you please step out of the building? Step out of the building. Don't worry. Just call 911. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. It's no problem. Hey, you're in a private building. You're in a private. Yeah. Uh-huh.
You're looking at a 12-story minimum, 12-story building.
No. Way tougher than tough.
Excuse me, sir.
Way tougher than tough. Way to keep talking. All you gotta do is keep talking.
Sir,
You know what I mean?
Step out of the property, please.
message is right
I'll show
here.
you what a tough guy looks
My
like.
name's Arturo.
I'll show you what a tough
Step
guy
out of the
looks
property,
like.
sir, please.
Oh, you gonna do what? Call the police. That's all you gonna do.
That's fine.
You know, call the police.
That's fine.
Right, exactly. Stay in your motherfucking place. Chump.
This is America. This is treason. This is exactly. But see, these guys can walk into our building we pay for, but we can't. You want to understand what treason is, America? This is what's called treason, right here. This whole building has been renovated to house illegal aliens.
Yes.
We just came several blocks away from it. U.S. citizens sleeping in redundant, torn down tents. You got a 15-story building they renovated. We just walked in behind 2 illegal aliens. They look like they're from Venezuela. They get to walk in, and then we get a call, and they yell and curse that.
And then they call the police.
They call the police, and we just walked in thinking, well, can I have some of this free shit?
Right.
Can I have some of it? You and I spent $1,000 at Airbnb. Can I stay in one of those rooms for 3 days for free?
That's pretty rough, man. Those people, if that's really what's going on. I don't know.
It's going downhill. I mean,
it's all by design. It's all by design.
Yeah, true.
If y'all think Trump is going to be a big hero savior, you better think again. Because people don't really understand.
I mean, Hegelian dialectic.
Look here. The Hegelian dialectic. Exactly, RG. Exactly. But I mean, here's the thing, and it's like, just because one is stupider than the post doesn't mean automatically the other guy is wonderful. Okay. If I put up 2 different kinds of methods for you to be killed with, does choosing one better than the other? No, because the result's going to be the same, isn't it? And that's what gets me. And so this guy's out there really looking for credit for something that I would be trying to really shift the blame on if I was one of these scumbags.
He ran up record amounts of spending.
Therefore, as a matter of national security, I've signed this omnibus budget bill.
Why not go after him for propagating the lie of 2 weeks to slow the spread that we just had the 3-year anniversary of?
This afternoon, we're announcing new guidelines for every American to follow over the next 15 days. This campaign will be extended until April 30th.
He fought for red flag laws and other types of gun control. Donald Trump, by the way, is a huge fan of red flag laws. Take the guns first, due process later.
I like taking the guns early. So you could do exactly what you're saying, but take the guns first, go through due process.
He empowered the CDC and...
Hold up, I'll go to Solar Adam. Joe hasn't been running this country. Okay? Nobody has. Nobody that you've ever seen. In fact, throughout your whole life, you have never seen those that actually run the country. Okay? Keep that in mind.
Fought for lockdowns in the opening months of COVID.
We did the right thing. We closed the country down.
Or where he authorized and empowered Anthony Fauci and the CDC to work with governors in almost all of the 50 states to make it a crime for us to go outside or go to church or go to work or operate our businesses.
Dr. Fauci will explain why it's absolutely critical for the American people to follow the guidelines for the next 30 days. It's a matter of life and death, Frank.
Life and death. Oh, I know you was, Adam. I know you was joking, but it was a good segue into making that point.
It's a matter of life and death.
He attacked governors and even other countries that ended their lockdowns.
I could have kept it open. And I could have done what some countries are doing. I had to shut it down, and we did the right thing.
Or propagating the so-called CARES Act and the corporate welfare that was given out by the trillions to make sure that the billionaires didn't lose a penny while the rest of us were forced to stay home and we're losing everything.
I'm going to sign this.
Yeah, but you got $300, man.
And it's a great honor. $6.2 trillion. I've never signed anything with a T on it. I don't know if I can handle this one, Mitch.
He ran.
Hey, fucking Steve Mnuchin standing behind him, grinning like a fucking fox in a hen house.
Up so much debt, so quickly, $7 trillion in one term, that in order to fund that debt, the Federal Reserve had to print out half of the money that had ever been printed ever, which led to the inflation we're suffering now.
This is the United States government. First of all, you never have to default because you print the money. I hate to tell you, okay?
Wow. You never default because you print the money. Where the fuck do you think that's coming from, man?
Hey, Andrew Jackson said it the
He ran up.
best, that our children and grandchildren will be sleeping on the street if we let the banks, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. That's paraphrasing, of course, but yeah, I'm familiar. Listen, this whole thing, and I'm not sorry to say so, has not aged well, and it's cracking me up that the very people that were getting after anybody for saying, "Hey, be careful, this isn't real, you guys, they're tracking you," you know, "Oh, we're going to shut down your channel, we're going to do this, that, and the other," and now, here's this Mr. Collins, and he was he was in there with Fauci with this shit, right? And now this is Alex Jones confronting him at the airport, and this is what I'm saying, man. Their bullshit's not aging well at all. Watch it.
How you doing? We're good. 20+ million people dead from those shots. Well, Trish coming out about you and Fauci.
Oh shit.
How's it feel to kill more people than Hitler?
You're writing some folk songs about it?
Whoa.
You'll never get away with what you did, your bioweapon. You're in a lot of trouble. Nuremberg 2 is coming. Get his face. Hi. Good. We'll be exposing that guy. All of them are going to prison, Nuremberg 2. They can run, but they can't hide. The truth will get them. Mass murderers.
That's messed up, man. Walk up to the dude right there in the airport, man, in front of all them people. You know, and I bet half those people around him didn't even know who the hell he was, that they do now, don't they? That was one of those faces. That's one of those fucking hidden faces. You saw Fauci all over the place. People would recognize him everywhere. That's why he travels by private jet. This guy, he can walk amongst everybody, even though if Alex Jones, what he allegates is true, you know, if those people were privy to that information and who he was, do you think he could go through there without getting accosted by people and them, you know, calling him to task on it? I doubt it. I doubt it. So that's one of those kind of hidden hands that you don't pay any attention to. And, you know, most of these people are so busy trying to, you know, just function. You know, you watch people and they're not really aware of a whole lot that's going on around them at any given time, you know. But kudos to
I
Jones.
used to always say, yeah, kudos to him.
I don't care for the dude, man. I don't care for Alex Jones a whole lot. I think he's a phony. I don't think he's genuine. But some of the shit he's done over the years, I have to give him kudos for. You know, he's brought my attention to things. I mean, it was like, you know, actually reading about unicorns and then, or reading about Bigfoot and then actually seeing one. As I'd read about the Bilderberg meetings and shit like that when I was younger. And then on Alex Jones, he was talking about the Bilderberg meeting and that they were going to one. And I found out that they were going to Chantilly, Virginia. I was like, fuck, I'm going to go check this out. And I went there, and to actually see, you know, something you read about actually taking place was like, oh shit, you know, like seeing Bigfoot. And I met Alex Jones there, and my opinion of him went to 50% as soon as I shook his hand. It was like the vibe I got was like, not good. Not a good vibe. I don't know. His hand was kind of clammy.
Yeah, he was always sweating. I've always said that when your government has to always ride around in these bulletproof, bomb-proof cars, you know, the public is not too happy with them
Yeah.
Get
I
my
mean,
drift?
and that's the same thing I look at when they try to use shit to try to disarm people. And I'm like, why do they want to disarm you so badly? They try to pretend that it's because they care. It's because they care about other people, right? And I'm looking at them thinking, since when do you care about other people? What you are doing is because you're scared. You're about to do something that you know that we might turn around and use those arms. That's what you're really doing. It's just like these jokers at the courthouse. They have to have all this screening and shit before you go into the courthouse. Well, if it was actually a place of justice, they would have nothing to worry about. But the fact of the matter is that they have screwed over so many people that they know the chances of somebody trying to come back and act retribution on them for their skullduggery is high. And that's what it's really for. It's not because random people or anything else like that. No, it's because you've become to a point of oppressiveness that now you know your oppressiveness could enact retribution. See, so that's how you know right off that it is not a place of justice. Not at all. Otherwise, they wouldn't have to have those security measures. It used to be you could go right in there. You could go right in the courtroom with your fucking gun strapped right on your hip, baby. Not a worry in the world. Not a worry in the world. Who's going to be dumb enough to pull out a gun and start to do something? Somebody else is going to shoot you down dead right away. Boom.
Sorry, I dropped out, buddy. I got 2% on my phone. But yeah, the courts, a separate business. They're not for us. There are crisis actors all around the country. It's called J-Trig. Look that up. But
J-Trig.
I'm gonna drop out, buddy.
All right, man.
I'm having a lot of spasms. But y'all,
All right, man.
y'all have a blessed night.
What's going on, man?
Yes, sir. Have a good night.
Joint Threat Research Intelligence Group is a unit of the government communications headquarters of the British intelligence agencies. Yeah, it's why a lot of these that you find. So I've noticed the majority of them that argue with you on Facebook and especially on Twitter are from the UK. And I'm like, automatically, I'm like, J-Trig right off. There was a whole group of them that went by, they always had bikini in their name. And they were all over on Twitter a few years ago. And I even had their schedules worked out, what times they would be on, each one of them. And some of them were actually the same dude. It was insane. I had fun with that, man. I really did.
Love New York. How much, brother?
It's just what Alex walking through the airport. Who cares? Nobody want to watch his fat. I thought he was eating supplements and not being a fat ass no more. And now he's like, looks like Mr. Clean who ate Little Debbie. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Mr. Clean ate Little Debbie. That sounds dirty, actually. We probably shouldn't do that. So, you know, the Obamas were regulars at Diddy's, supposedly. There's a lot of photographs as well. This is why they got to watch out, man.
Read it and answer.
Public place, you did it. Is this the best or the worst? What do you do?
The best.
Okay, the best. Probably the Obama thing.
John, what's the? Oh God.
Oh God.
John.
What?
What is your wife talking about?
I don't know.
We heard
We're not-
in there.
He should get back in. What happened?
We're not going to discuss that.
We're not going to discuss it.
We're not. We're not.
He's like, what? Wait a minute. I don't know nothing. I want to stay alive.
Oh my God! Secret Service. Come here, jump back in. Look at John. Look at. I don't.
We're not talking about it. That's the truth.
That is an awesome answer.
Not the White House.
Not the,
It was not
It
the
was
White
not
House.
at the White House. That is
100%
correct.
not the White House. I promise
He was
you.
not elected yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we're moving on.
I'm sorry. I'm in trouble now.
no, you're good. Read it and answer.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, she's an idiot too. Or he. A lot of people are saying that's a he. Here's Russell Brand hanging out with old PDF Diddy.
Hello. Rusty Rocket. Is this the Twitter? Yeah, yes, also known as Russell Brand, yes. He's very, 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 very dear friend of mine. We go way back. We've got a lot of history from the projects, of course. Yeah. Back in the days. Very rough in those days, with a lot of bother in the projects, but we've come through it now. Things seem to be working out. Yeah. And I'd like to. I'm sorry. You liked it? Yeah, I felt so affectionate. I didn't feel comfortable enough to sort of start embracing you, so I didn't want to be. Oh no,
I can't halfway understand anything that dude ever says. But that didn't age well. Hanging out with, I mean, all these people that were so proud to hang around with this guy are, I don't know. I just gotta say. Let's see. So what happens when you allow your beard talking? Yeah, no doubt, right? Yeah, there you go. Talking about John Legend, right on. That dude just looks gay as hell. I just gotta say, you know, he does. He definitely does. Is this the one? Oh yeah, this is Brian Young put out a really good video today. I don't know. Let me see if I agree. This was on Twitter. I'm glad to see that he's getting a lot of traction on Twitter. I've been following Brian for, oh man, I don't know, better than 5 years, maybe 6 years. All the way back to his original High Impact Flicks channel. And then watched him lose channels and get strikes and all kinds of crazy shit. And he's got two or three channels now, and now he's on Twitter as well. So he's got it. He's doing pretty good. I tend to, like, most of the time 100% agree with Brian's views on things. It's amazing how we align that way. I met him once and talked to him briefly in Richmond, and really pleasant conversation. But yeah, let me see what he's got about this, because this is the thing. People are really getting snowed, you know. I myself, I'm not going to participate in this evil shit at all. So that's where my moral high ground comes from. But what I do see is people saying, where they're being fooled, looking at going, oh my God, this broad is such a retard. You know, I'm going to glom on to this other guy because he's witty and I like the way that he doesn't take any shit and blah, blah, blah. And they're not paying attention to the fact that this guy just says whatever the people in front of him want to hear. But when he gets pinned down on things in these interviews, this is where it really comes down telling. So I'm just going to play this. I'll probably stop it a couple of times, but yeah, me either. Wasn't he married to somebody and then not anymore or some kind of shit? He was married to some actress, wasn't he? Drew Barrymore? Am I thinking that right? I don't know. Yeah, he's an actor. And he puts out a good script. They're reading the room and putting out what people want to hear. I watch some of his shit sometimes, but half the time I can't understand what he's saying. It's too hyper for me.
This comes from a clip where Cheryl Atkinson from Full Measure sat down with Trump and asked him a very interesting question. And I want you to listen to his response. And I'm talking to all you Trump supporters. How in the hell, honestly, how in the hell can you support him when he still thinks like this?
On COVID, you frequently say at your rallies and so on that you don't feel like you get enough credit on COVID.
but by nearly every assessment, the CDC failed miserably at job one. And yes, the COVID vaccines were developed in record time, but as we now know, they don't prevent infection, illness, or transmission, and they have very potentially serious side effects. Do you think that maybe they were approved too fast? And in hindsight, based on what we know now, what would you have done differently?
Well, I think they're doing studies on the vaccines, and we're going to find out, and it'll come out one way or the other. But I really had a mandate to get vaccines done, and I got them done very quickly in record time. The Democrats love it. You know, the Democrats love it, and the Republicans don't. It's
Love
very
what?
interesting. The vaccines, they love it.
The Democrats love the vaccines, says the father of the vaccine.
See what I'm saying, man? It's just like, let me just back that. What? Oh, fuck, I locked up. Shit. Be right back, guys. Fuck. There we go, folks. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Computer locked up, rebooted, came back up. I had no control over it. This is getting on my nerves really bad. I have no idea what's been going on with this equipment lately, but there's been some really crazy shit happening with it. Anyway, where was I? Let me bring this back over here. Holy crap, what did we drop down by half? We lost half our viewers because of that bullshit. Tell you what, man, I got to get somebody over here to look at this fucking thing because it's really... Anyway, we were talking about with Trump being in the you know, and I'm kind of reluctant. I have to wonder sometimes, man, you know, is there somebody sending a thing to this system causing this bullshit? You know, it's really pathetic. It really is. It's really a nerve-wracking thing. And it really ruined the whole vibe of what I had going on here. You know, it really did. Pisses me off. Really does. Anyway, I'll get back into what Brian was saying here in just a minute. Yeah, I hear that fan rev up like that, and I have to wonder what the hell's going on. Yeah, let me bring that back up. There's the dogs. There's something wrong with drink. All right, so there we go. I think that's got it.
One. And yes, the COVID vaccines were developed in record time, but as we now know, they don't prevent infection, illness, or transmission, and they have very potentially serious side effects. Do you think that maybe they were approved too fast? And in hindsight, based on what we know now, what would you have done differently?
Well, I think they're doing studies on the vaccines, and we're going to find out, and it'll come out one way or the other. But I really had a mandate to get vaccines done, and I got them done very quickly in record time. The Democrats love it.
So by allowing them to bypass all the proper testing and everything else like that and just go ahead and go right to humans, that was by giving them emergency use orders. That really? And you're bragging about that shit? You're bragging about that? Come on, man.
But, you know, the Democrats love it and the Republicans don't. It's very interesting. The vaccines, they love it.
The Democrats love the vaccines, says the father of the vaccine.
I have a friend of mine who said to me, why don't you talk about the vaccine, what you did with the vaccine? He's a Democrat, but I'm sure he voted for me. He said, what you did was the most incredible thing that any president has ever done. You've saved hundreds of millions of lives all over the world. And this was just recently.
Now, I don't know if a guy really said that to him. And if he did, I don't know if the guy was really a Democrat. But the message that Trump is trying to convey, he wants the world to know, I saved hundreds of millions of lives through the big pharma clot shot. And you're going to vote for him.
Yeah, I don't think he did save anything. I know one thing he did do, and maybe Brian, I don't know if he touched on this during this or not. Hey, Ryan, what's going on, brother? Jeff Gashead's here too. Cool. Got a bunch of people who jumped back in. Cool. Thank you, everybody. Sorry for that technographical difficultations. I don't know what caused it, but it's over now. Anyway, he put manufacturing through using War Powers Act. He actually he put manufacturing under government control. Remember, he said he was going to get all these different companies to retool and start making ventilators. Made more ventilators than anybody ever before in history and all this other shit, and how wonderful the ventilator was. We find out the ventilator was actually killing people. Where are all these ventilators? Are they still being produced? What's going on? No, that was just to get his foot in the doorway for that. Okay. Much like how during World War II, FDR weaponized the factories, right? They no longer made automobiles and shit anymore. They were all over to wartime production. So
Smart guy.
But he ain't done yet.
He said, I don't understand why you don't talk about it. And I don't talk about it. But if you go to Pfizer, if you go to some of these companies, they have charts and they have all sorts of statistics. And I say, why don't you release those statistics? Let people know. But I don't talk about it. I can say this, the Democrats would love to claim it. The Republicans don't want to claim it. But it'll be determined, I'd say, over the next 12 months. I say this in terms of overall, I think I did an amazing job with COVID. I never got the credit for it. Remember that more people died under.
There are products out there from the big pharma industrial complex who is handed massive billions and billions of dollars, trillions of dollars worth of checks from Donald Trump to the big pharma industrial complex, to Pfizer, to Moderna, to
he made it. Yeah. And that's the thing is like, what are you wanting credit for? Because I don't see that as something that is, deserves a whole lot of credit. I really don't. And this is the thing, how are you going to weasel your way out of that? That's what I'm getting. If you want to go over to Here's the Deal channel, or The Disturbing Illusion, that's his one he covers the politics on. And check this out. He's also on Twitter. Yeah, Rick, you're so right. He is. He's really, and it's sort of like turd sandwich or poop soup. Which one are you going to get? You're getting shit either way, right? I don't understand, man. People, they really do get caught up in this cult of personality with these people, idolizing him. These people that are saying that he's like God's got his hand on him, and all this other. Let's take a look. Here's some photographs of our good friend Donnie. Oh, who's that with him? Who's that he's hanging out with? Him and Melania or whatever. Huh? Who's that? Who's this up here? Oh. So let me get this straight, Donnie. You hung around with Epstein and didn't know shit about him. And you hung around with P. Diddy and you didn't know shit about him. Right. Come on, buddy. Come on. What did he say? Somebody said something in here. Where is it? Oh, I missed it. Somebody said something to me. He says it's so full of shit. Fine, YouTube makes my laptop run slower. Yeah. So did he post this on YouTube too? Yes, he did. I don't know if he did or not. I don't. Probably. Seems like I saw something on YouTube about it. He's trying to build up his Twitter platform a little bit. Diddy oiled up Trump and his wife. Probably the daughter too. I'm sure Barron got in there someplace. I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. Lord Almighty, the emperor's new clothes are really starting to show. More and more people are starting to go, hey man, that motherfucker naked, bro. There's more and more people doing that. They're not afraid to do it. They're seeing it for what it is. And I hope you are too. Now here's the thing. I don't know what to make of this. We'll just watch it real quick. It says baptism is not what you think. Now I know there's a large majority of the people that come onto my show and everything are Christians, but many of them not really in a traditional sense. Yeah, they know what's going on, Rick. You're absolutely right. And they lie for each other. That's what Crypt Rick says. All these politicians and celebrities know 100% what's going on, and they lie for each other. Yeah. That's why I say these kids are like the currency of the elite. It's really bizarre. Very, very bizarre. Anyway, let's see what they say about this. And I'm going to do a quick pressure test up here on the International Fake Station with my good friend and co-pilot Something Wong. He's already been back there eating brownies, man. You can tell. Look at that dude is blazed. Look at, he just smiles. He's just back there smiling. He don't give a shit. He's got a good life up here.
Did you know baptism is not what you think?
He's a rescue. Something Wong is a rescue. So I feel good about that.
The Bible is secretly encoded. There are 4 physical elements: earth, water, fire, air. There are 4 stages of consciousness. Earth is survival mode, the surface level of our consciousness. Water is the 2nd stage of consciousness where we cleanse ourselves from the lower mind. Fire is enlightenment and the spiritual awakening. Air is clarity and mastery over the oneself. Being baptized will not do anything for you. It's symbolic. Being dunked in water is symbolic of entering the 2nd stage of consciousness and cleansing your mind from the survival state. And from here you go to fire, the awakening, the spiritual enlightenment. Jesus tells you to meditate. Luke 6:6, when thou prayest, enter into thine inner chamber, and having shut thy door. The inner self, the inner chamber, and shut the door is turning off thought. Theologians 4:17, meet the Lord in the air. You meet the Lord in the highest state of consciousness, the air element. Religion has just externalized the truth and made you follow a religion to control you. Baptism, tithing, and all of these religious exercises are all within your spiritual journey, not things that you should partake in. None of the religions are truth. The truth is inside of you.
Yeah, and this is one of the things that I hear people a lot of times, especially atheists, say, can't find any evidence of God. Where is God? I can't find God. And it's like, why are you looking outwardly for God? You have to look inward. Okay. And you certainly ain't going to find him in one of these charlatans standing up behind a pulpit telling you what to think about what God is and who God is. And the more of these characters I see, the more I see carnival barkers and not true men of God at all. Not at all. There are people basically said, I'm not going to work for a living. I'm going to sit here and act like I know about this shit, and I'm just going to lead people. They don't know any more about anything than they don't know if their ass is punched or bored half the time. Boy, that's an old saying. Goes back, doesn't it? So there's this dude. I don't know if he's going to be okay, but it kind of worries me. I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know if I can show that or not. It's a guy rolling his Jeep, man. It's pretty rough. He goes flying out of the vehicle. Oh, I don't know. There's no blood or nothing, but YouTube's really weird about that shit, so. You can go on YouTube and talk about P. Diddy, and all the crazy shit he's doing with 1,000 bottles of lube and getting all coked up with the stars and, having fuckathons or freakathons or whatever the hell they are. What's up, Andrew? Andrew's been to some of Diddy's parties, man. What's that like, Andrew?
I've been to all of them.
You've been to all of them? Awesome.
Yeah, I was actually the event organizer for quite a few of them. But,
Now think about this. Now, I'm thinking with these weird, freaky orgy parties and shit that they're having, that there's kind of a disgusting mess left with that, right? And from what I understand, he had people he had on payroll to clean that up. And I'm just wondering what kind of person do you get for that job? And what kind of, how do you advertise for it?
People from Venezuela, I would assume, because that was probably like the people that he was able to actually get that weren't going to say shit. Like, yeah, you say anything, you're deported situation, or take you out into the ocean and make you swim a long distance back to the shoreline if you can survive. Just things like that. You'll get disappeared or suicided, something like that. Yeah. Has he been convicted yet? I don't really know.
No. He's only been arraigned. He was not allowed bail, and investigation is still ongoing. But I don't know exactly. The charges against him are RICO, racketeering, trafficking, firearms violations. He had ARs with no with the serial numbers scraped off of them, shit like that.
So he's incarcerated currently. He's
Yeah, he's in the same place they had Epstein.
Oh, it's a New York State, like they're or county jail or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually worked in a particular jail when I was just there, as an electrician doing upgrades and stuff. When I can't remember the guy's name, Michael Vick. There it is.
Oh
he
yeah,
was
the dog guy.
Yeah, and he got locked up there. And what the CO, I was asking the COs, that were like escorting us around and everything, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we had to bring him in Taco Bell and Burger King and McDonald's, and like he had like his cell door never locked, and he had a PlayStation and a TV in there. They had to run extension cords in there, and that was his time. He did like a year and a half or 2 years or something.
That's where they had Sam Bankman was in the same place where they got Diddy at now too.
Oh, that Sam Bankman, yeah, that was one of my trivia questions actually. That he's doing 25 years.
Well, speaking of such a thing, did you what do you think about that latest development on the free observation or the free expedition?
Oh, the golden ticket situation?
Yeah.
I don't have enough to speak on it at the moment, but I've heard some people saying that they were contenders or something, or they were eligible for it. But I was listening to what you were saying earlier. By the way, I'm on my break right now I'm teaching an online engineering course at the moment, but they're on break. So I don't know a whole lot about the golden ticket situation. It sounds kind of.
All right, well, he came up with 10 finalists.
Okay.
Now, what it was supposedly some wealthy person, some wealthy benefactor had reached out to Will Duffy and offered to pay for, somebody to be a contestant. And originally they were supposed to each put in $10 for their application or something, but Duffy didn't do that. All right. So just because somebody emailed him and said that they had a lot of money and wanted to send somebody, he didn't bother to vet that or anything else. He just went ahead and ran the contest. 10 people showed up. First one he kicked off was the one person that happens to have a bunch of infrared equipment.
Oh, I heard you say that. Yeah, Brian Leakey.
Yeah, Brian Leakey. And he ended up settling on this girl. Okay. So the next day he puts out this video saying that he got scammed, that there was really no wealthy benefactor. It was a flat earther trying to play a prank on him. Okay. So you expect me to believe that you, Will Duffy, a financial planner, a broker, a guy who's in the money business, got scammed by what amounts to be a Nigerian prince email? You mean to tell me that you actually just fell for some email and didn't bother to vet it, didn't say, hey, can we put the money into an escrow account so that we know it's there, nobody can touch it, blah, 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 before I run this contest? No, not whatsoever. So now the girl who won, the ticket was fake. So now what they're doing is they're running a GoFundMe to get her money to be able to go.
Okay.
And I'm
is
like,
there a GoFundMe link that you can provide? I heard you say that.
I couldn't get it to work, but if there's a GoFundMe, and it might have been because I was using a VPN. I don't know.
Yeah, I have that issue a lot. My bank doesn't like that when I use my VPN, so I have to.
Yeah, so
Amazon
you can go over to the Final Experiment YouTube and go to the Golden Ticket live, or the one where he said he got scammed. And in the description is a link to the GoFundMe. Way back up in the chat, somebody had put a link to it, but it's way up there. You missed it, so it'd be easier to just do it that way.
I'll definitely check it out. But
wait, hold up. Let me look. Wait, a private.
Yes.
chat.
Also, New Civil Coalition, Porter.
Yes. What's up?
Cheers, bro.
Hey, man. Have y'all heard the new observation that we're gonna be doing?
What's that?
We're gonna be comparing the actual. When you look through the telescope and you watch the so-called whatever it is go across the moon, right? Then we're gonna go and we're gonna look up the live feed and see if it matches up.
Oh, for the ISS? Yeah, it won't.
It's not going. I've already kind of, just assessed it, just regularly to see if there's a big comparison. On the live feed that you see with the Earth, it's crawling. It's just barely even moving. They said they're going 17,000 to 28,000 miles an hour, which is laughable. And then you can track whatever that metal structure is that's mapped out the ether. That's basically, I think, all it is some kind of structure up there that could withstand that enormous amount of energy. And it's just like hauling tail through it.
Yeah, the ISS, Witsit did a really great presentation last year in Vegas where he was showing the actual, if you're tracking the ISS, it has this spiral pattern that happens. It's like
torus. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like a spirograph does.
Right.
It goes in ellipses that keep cycling around. It's an ellipse that keeps cycling.
And it's perfect. And
Yeah,
the
I
only
don't know
thing
how
that convinced
fast
me-
it's moving, but it's
They
moving
say
quick.
I thought they said that next year was the last year they were going to have the ISS until it started to descend down, and eventually it's going to crash into the ocean somewhere.
Mhm.
And I'm waiting for that hoax to happen.
Listen, maybe they're setting it up for something more. Why not have a trauma-based ritual out of it as well?
Oh yeah, like hit the White House or something.
No, it's just the astronauts are stranded up there, right?
So, what do y'all think about this fake moon? Is it
Well,
just
wait a second. Hold on a second. Those astronauts are stranded up there right now.
Yeah, Elon Musk to the rescue.
Okay. So what if something happened in the space station? It's so old now and everything that something fucks up and it kills all these astronauts, and it's going to be a long time to be able to build that technology back, and it's going to set us back a few years and all this other nonsense that comes about.
all the kids would be scared and won't want to be.
Yeah, man. And listen, if I was working for the they, right? If I was working for the they, I could come up with so many great little stories for them to run and shit like that people would believe, especially something like that. You know, if you're getting ready to shit can that whole thing anyways, why not use it? Never let a crisis go to waste, right?
Yeah, that's what I think a senator said from, I think, Illinois. Yes, never let a good crisis go to waste. Basically, use it.
Rahm Emanuel.
Oh, that's what it was. Oh, okay. Yeah, and he said that, and he wasn't even saying that it's a true crisis, just a crisis.
Right.
You can manipulate that shit as many times as you want, because a lie, unfortunately, is way more powerful than anything truthful. Because truthful is there's one truth in a certain subject, but a lie you can say, you can manipulate it however the fuck you want, and that's what politicians do. That's what people in the science field do. I know this for a fact because I work in the science field, but it's just like it's so fucking annoying.
All right, so even like this, you take an inner city school, and a couple of gangbangers in there, shoot it out. A couple others, and they shoot one of the guys and whatever, because it only takes 3 people to be a mass shooting now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now they can say, "Oh, look, there was a school shooting."
Right.
And it's like, no, there's a couple gangbangers in a school that's notorious for gang activity. What are you talking about? But they can spin it. They can take that crisis. It's a bad situation, and then spin the narrative to where oh, look, this people shooting up schools is really a problem. Look here's another one. And if they report on more incidences, there's a lot of times there's murders and shit happen, robberies and whatnot, and they don't even bother reporting on it because, P. Diddy. But when they're trying to push an agenda, when they're trying to push something like we want to get rid of all the guns, okay, media, we're going to report on everything that ever happens with a gun. We're going to make it look like it's just the Wild West out there by reporting mostly on those stories and bypassing the other. It's all just selective shit.
That's right.
You got to go by what you see and hear and have actually around you. Otherwise, you're just a victim of the Plato's allegory of the cave.
Oh, I did it. Oh, yeah, I did an entire presentation on that when I was in college a long time ago. And I was a Glober at the time, and if you ever saw Carl Sagan's explanation, because I watched every single one of Carl Sagan's videos multiple times, and he was trying to explain like the flat Earth versus like in dimensions and stuff. And one thing that he did actually present I would say fairly well, is the two-dimensional aspect versus three-dimensional and four-dimensional. That was pretty much the concept of the entire the video on that one. And he talks about flatlanders, and flatlanders, flat people. You can't see anything except in an X and Y coordinate system.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I was a little bit losing my train of thought there for a moment, but either way,
ecliptic.
Who took over the Cosmos series after he died?
Neil.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. Another fraudster.
Yep.
And
They've always had their little spokesman. They've always had. Do you remember what the hell was his name? God dang it, I keep wanting to say his name was Jules Verne, ABC News science correspondent. Now that was before Sagan or around the same time. Everybody listened to what this guy said. And he was like the voice of space. He was the Neil deGrasse Tyson of the time. He also had Walter Cronkite. He was a big time
Walter Cronkite
propaganda artist for that whole thing. Walter Cronkite. Hell yeah. He reported on the moon landing and everything. I remember that.
But when it comes to a lot of this stuff, was part of my point. This is a brand new deck of cards. I just took them out of the box. I could do a card trick in front of you, but there would be misdirection involved, and
Sure.
you'd have no fucking clue how I do it. I don't have like the camera angle set up or anything, and it's dark. But
Yeah, it's sleight of hand. Sleight of hand. You cause a distraction and do sleight of hand. They do that. Well, just like this with the WHO treaty. While everybody's losing their mind about P. Diddy and who he's been butt raping, they're doing this bullshit behind your back.
Smoke and mirrors.
Yes, and also what else is going on, right? How come we're not hearing about the big bird flu summit next month?
Wait, what?
You know what a thought could just
This thing's been in the pipes since the spring to have a bird flu summit in Washington, D.C. this October. You can Google bird flu summit.
Event 202.
Yeah, right. It's all kinds. It's multiple days where they're going to be discussing quarantine procedures, mortuary procedures, detainment procedures.
Hint, Event 201. This is like Event 201, like phase
Kinda.
2.
Yep.
Yeah, look up. Go to here. I'll get it real quick.
Hey, Sav, real quick. Who did P. Diddy tick off? That's the real question.
Listen,
You
he
gotta know
filmed
it, 'cause
somebody.
they're all doing it.
He obviously filmed
Yeah.
somebody who didn't want to be filmed.
Yeah,
Who's very, very powerful. Because listen, none of the big power players have been really mentioned in this.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to piss
He-
someone
I'm
off.
thinking he had to tick somebody off. It'd be stuck
No,
out.
I don't. This is,
You
well,
think?
could be, but he could have just been a pawn in the chess game.
Yeah, that's right. And they used,
being
and
taken
they
off the
probably
board.
got second copies of all this stuff so they can have it.
Right, and that's the thing I was bringing up in regards to like
You know
magic.
what I'm saying?
You have to
That's
misdirection
terrible,
is one of
man.
those things.
Oh,
where-
yeah. It's a double whammy.
Yeah, that's how the news does it. Yeah, they'll
Yeah.
they
And
just
then they're
pick
going to
out-
build it up in the tabloids. They increase it, but what, 1,000-fold? Wouldn't you say, Sav?
Yeah, something like that.
1,000.
This
they're
is
spell casting abroad.
okay. So October 2nd,
Yeah.
is when this thing comes about. They're going to develop and maintain plans, procedures, programs, and systems. Develop and implement training and exercise programs. When you go to the law enforcement agencies, they're going to have ensuring law enforcement personnel health and safety, safeguarding vaccine and essential goods delivery, managing surge in crime during pandemic, controlling social unrest and public disorder, implementing isolation measures in correctional facilities. Let me put the link in here. This is the agenda. Copy. I'm going to put this down here in the chat. I'll put it over here in the private chat too.
Wow.
Bam.
Yeah, I found one, but this sounds a lot more intense than Event 201. It's like Event 201 was like, oh, here's our first staff meeting for a new restaurant or something. And all of a sudden, they're like, oh, we figured out how everything's working. Here's our second staff meeting.
Yep.
And it's going to get more intense. It's sort of like how Jade Helm, I'm not sure if people are aware of what that was, but I've spoken with people that were in the Army at the time that were associated with that, and they said it was incredibly strange for that to actually ever have occurred. Oh, bird flu? I thought you said monkeypox.
No, bird flu. Bird flu.
Oh, I looked at the wrong one then. Whoops.
We got preparedness, 1 in birds, 2 in cattle, 3 in pets, 4 in people. They're going to be going through this whole thing.
And there's still not one quantified isolate yet of even H1N1.
Here's like for this thing here, they're going to have comprehensive agenda packed with breakout sessions, more than 20 in all. Mass fatality management planning. Continuity of operations and continuity of government planning.
Wow, I bet you that was.
Wait, go back to that. What is a breakout session?
Yeah.
I understand if you're at a conference or something, there's going to be breaks in between presenters or even a class or congressional hearings. What the fuck is a breakout session?
Oh, let's find out, man. Let me look it up. See, breakout session.
It sounds sort of like trying to trick you a little bit.
Yeah, do you remember when Gates did the TED Talk and he had all those mosquitoes in that box and he said, I'm just going to open this right here.
Okay, it says a breakout session is a short-term meeting where participants of a larger meeting have more detailed discussions in a smaller group. During these sessions, participants okay, so it's kind of like Bilderberg.
Oh, so they're going to break out in smaller groups?
Right. So during this thing right here, they're going to have like
those cells.
Yeah, breakout sessions, more than 20 in all. And
that's kind of evil plotted.
So under mass fatality management planning, I guess they would take people that would be involved with each one of these things and have their conduct morgue operations.
Yeah, that's like micro-organizing the dang stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, what? They're like making these little supercells is what they're doing. And actually, it's just a demonstration for something that they're going to be training in these major ones.
Let me put this down.
You get what I'm saying? That's probably so they can just film a tutorial. So all these stakeholders in these cells, or whoever they're going to be teaching, it's just a film so they can, kind of, everybody can't be at that 201 at one time. So they'll probably film that and just distribute it amongst
Event
private
201
adults or somewhere like that.
Was live streamed, by the way. You can still watch it.
Yeah.
I think there was 11 or 12 people there sitting around a big conference table.
Well, see, these are for, they tell it for, this is for IBFS, right? Down here, this one's for emergency management services. And they'll have prioritizing antivirals, overcoming reduced response capacity and staffing issues, handling panic and that kind of thing. So that's under EMS. And then under law enforcement agencies, they've got a breakout session. So you'll have different cops and shit there at this one, ensuring law enforcement personnel health and safety, safeguarding vaccine and essential goods delivery, all that.
Okay.
Fire department.
Not to interrupt you, but they probably got abstracts for each one of those topic headings too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they do. That's what the breakout sessions are. Yeah.
Paywall too. No, you know what I'm saying? They put stuff like that under paywalls.
Well, not all of it, and I can show. If you want to see this is kind of.
It's in there.
So here's what gets me: is this workshop is October the 4th.
Okay.
So is their workshop, and if you remember, when I think it was Pompeo, one of those asshats, Trump was standing over to the side, and this guy walked up, and this was back in 2020 here. Yeah, 2020. And he said, he says, we are in a live exercise.
Yeah.
And you hear Trump say, you should have told us. You should have let us know. You hear him say that. And I have not seen anything of that since. I think they scrubbed that. But I remember that clearly. And what I'm thinking is was that the workshop of Event 201? Was when they ran it live?
Could have, but Event
We're
201
in a
was
live exercise, he said.
that was in 2019 though.
Yeah,
2019,
That's
I'm
when it's
sorry, yeah.
the beginning. I think that's when it was. Wasn't
Yeah,
that
we're
right?
in a live exercise, and then it
Yeah.
was from October again, right? October 2019. Isn't that when we got hit with the bullshit?
Yep, basically. I
Yeah,
think it
yeah.
was more November-ish, but I think
There's
Event
your
201 was in October, and then the very next month.
Well, Sab,
That's your October surprise. That's your October surprise.
I do have the actual film when he signed us over to FEMA. And when you watch it, there's this lady, you probably seen this film, where this lady narrates it because he's slick with his speech. He was talking about the exit entry visa tracking system, the biometric tracking system, the same social credit score system that China has. And people were laughing in the crowd and cheering about it. He said, we're going to have it on land. It's going to be on sea. It's going to be in the air. Yeah. And so what he's talking about is that digital biometric system where it just tracks your face and all that stuff. That's what he was talking about. And people just cheering him, so like just like, yeah, let's get it. Like put it on my street. They don't even know. It's crazy.
Why did they choose this graphic of all these eggs for here?
Huh? Wow.
They're going to attack that.
Okay, so what I wanted to tell you, Sav, is when he was giving us over to FEMA, he said, we've been under some rules for a while now, but we're breaking it down. And he was talking about the Constitution. And this lady goes into how, these politicians can speak, but they speak in some kind of like, something like something law. I can't think of the name of the terminology, but the way they speak, it's like in a lawyer's kind of terminology. And so they can say stuff out in public behind the pulpit, and they could be talking about something just serious, and you're not even aware of it unless it's Black's Law, I think, something like that.
The Black's Law
Have
is
you
a
ever heard of that?
dictionary that lawyers use. Black's Law
Yes,
dictionary.
it's based off of that. He said there were some guidelines and laws that we've been under for some time now, but we're slowly breaking them down. I want to send you this video. He goes through a whole speech and she breaks down what he's saying, Sav, and what he is saying on the cool. It's like obvious. And it's like when he signed us over to FEMA. He did that. He signed us over to FEMA. Then he signed off on Warp Speed. And then, he's all on the coin. He's Zionist. We all know that. It's a trip. Everybody's just like so lost in the sauce.
I hope everybody enjoyed their $300 because now, because now you're paying for it.
Yes, right.
Now you're paying for it right now. Now you're paying for it.
I heard about that and I was like, what is that doing exactly? Like $300 is like that's nothing.
Yeah, and where's the rest of the 6 trillion? Where'd that go?
Right.
Well, that's why they do it, I believe, as a way to cipher money out of the system, increase
exactly
interest
right.
rates, and give the people a little bit of something to like not cry about necessarily. Oh, I got some money, therefore I'm not going to look into what is actually happening with this. Again, it's a magic trick. It's smoke and mirrors.
That's it.
Look at this shit they're going to be talking about: surveillance and data management.
What?
Enhancement of AI surveillance testing in human and poultry population.
It's almost like that biometric system. It'll be connected to that probably.
Utilization of big data and analytics in pandemic surveillance. Enhancing decision making and resource allocation.
It's like connecting all the Walmarts, the Costco's, all of the corporations that have anything linked up to the net is going to be
like merging every single company together into one.
Yeah.
Like Skynet.
Biometric system. That's what that's about. Whoa.
I got something pretty trippy to show you guys too if you want to see it.
Whoa, that's crazy, Saw. Yup.
Just don't take the
And
shot.
dude,
guys.
look, it's
Just
like
don't do
right
it.
there in plain sight. You see, they do that. That's soft disclosure right here. Who's going to go really take the time out to, first off, is going to have enough of understanding to even question something now? Well, if you're not, like Candace Owens said, if you're not a conspiracy theorist by now, you're just not intelligent. I'm just saying.
Look, learning from
I'll
our
be-
mistakes.
My goodness.
Here they are learning from their mistakes, lessons
Right.
learned from previous pandemic responses.
Look at that. I
So-
wonder what they're saying about that.
Yeah, see, it's going to be about, okay, now we got all these people that aren't going to buy into it. How are we going to combat
This sounds like
that?
the Gestapo, like in Russia.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, the Politburo or something, man.
Some Noah Verrera.
I've got something to share.
What's
You know
that?
what I'm talking about?
You guys will like this. Trust me. It's fucking.
that
Maybe you've
explain-
heard of it, but hopefully it'll be brand new to you. Present.
Is all this safe though, Soft? I mean, I don't think we've been. I think we've
No,
been
it's not
to
safe.
discreet.
Just think about it. You're shooting heavy metals in your bloodstream. It's got to be
Uh-huh.
good for everything. Yeah.
All right. Are you seeing this? Am I sharing correctly?
No, I don't see nothing down there, buddy.
Fuck. Hold on.
It'll go pop. Where am I?
Oh wait, hold on. Let me cancel that. Start over. There was one other. Sorry, but yeah, it's kind of related to this.
Are you sharing something from your computer out and bringing it up? Oh, there it is. There it is.
Okay.
Got it, man.
This is directly from the UN, United Nations website. It's one of the side tabs. I have other things. I have like 7 tabs open with them right now. But this is Agenda 2063. This is public information.
Right.
And it says the Africa we want. Sentence number 1 is Agenda 2063 is Africa's blueprint and master plan for transforming Africa into the global powerhouse of the future. That's the first fucking sentence of this. I've read the entire thing. There's actually a lot more than this. This is like the Australian version of it.
How many pages is it?
In total, it's a little over 300 pages to read the entire thing, something like that.
Man,
That's
But,
serious
yeah,
for
this
like, strategic planning.
Yeah, well, they're fucking telling you. It's not like
Yeah,
like children can access this.
Here's something I want to run by y'all. Now think about this, man. These people go embark on putting a lot of money, time, and effort into some kind of a plan
Yeah,
that they will never ever live to see come to fruition.
that's right.
Okay. So it makes me wonder why. Why would somebody go through that and then, never to know if it ever was successful or not? Or are they? Are the consciousness or whatever entity is operating these people, when its host die, does it move on to a younger one and just keep doing that, where its lifetime is like one of their lifetime as many of ours?
That sounds very parasitic, Soft. Really
It
does.
sounds a lot like how it would most likely be. I mean, think about this. And they have to have a certain genetic frequency that they're compatible with. And this would stand to reason why these blue bloods, these elites, all intermarry. They don't breed with the common folk. The royals, they're really bad with it, right? So much so that, a lot of people don't know Queen Elizabeth had had a retarded sister, man, that was in an institution, just a state hospital. It's a princess, a member of the royal family. And then when she died, she didn't get any kind of royal honors or anything else like that. The only people that even showed up at her funeral were the people from the hospital.
Princess Di?
And then we find out Hitler was actually Walt Disney with plastic surgery.
Come on, Morgan
I'm still not
Freeman.
buying that one. Nah. Nah.
I mean, it's bad enough. It's bad enough that you had. If you look at the people, who are behind, the forming of NASA. Holy crap!
That's pretty.
There's your menagerie of creeps
weird.
right there.
Yeah, that's a weird one. Oh, that's a
It was
weird
a lot easier for them back then to actually pull off these types of hoaxes, though, because
I'm sorry, Reuters is trying to deny it, y'all. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut y'all, brother.
No,
but
you're fine.
Reuters was denying that what you were just saying, Sav, about the founders, and it's just you can go and look it up now. And there's pages of it where Mr. Crowley, JP, and then you get deeper into it, the Melantra workings, where they
Do you
went
know
out
who
to
owns
the desert.
Reuters? Do you know who owns Reuters?
No, who?
The Rothschilds. Who do
Oh,
you think
what?
Yeah, they've been known even since the Napoleon War
Whoa.
for being able to deliver news very quickly, get
makes
shit
sense
in and
now.
out of places, right? So this is how Rothschild ended up pretty much owning England, was because of he got the news of Napoleon's defeat at Waterloo long before anybody else did, through his Reuters agents. No shit. No shit.
You know
You
something
got
else
it.
the Rothschilds
Yeah.
own that a lot of people are not aware
I
of?
love it.
They
What's
own the
that?
rights to the U.S. power grid.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's hard to find. You have to like dig pretty deep to find out. But when you start looking into it, yeah, the
And-
power grid of the
And
United
now,
States.
and now, actually, concretely, thanks to Diana, Rothschild blood now flows within the royal line.
Wow.
It already has for a while, right? Okay.
Right.
So guess who holds a copyright on the King James Bible?
Who's that?
The royals, the royal family,
Wow.
the crown,
There's-
the crown of England.
How can you
They
have a
have the
copyright on
actual
Bible?
copyright on it?
Yes.
How do you copyright the Bible though?
That's
is.
the King James Bible.
Yep.
Therefore,
King
it
James
belongs
from
to the
England.
crown. It's copyrighted by the crown. Absolutely.
Holy shit! I don't have one. I
Hey,
got
so-
a Bhagavad Gita right here.
I want you one night, if you could. Have you ever heard of the World Economic Forum Strategic Intelligence Platform?
Yeah.
Dude, they've got a thing with like cybernetics and stuff. It's pretty crazy.
Listen, they can only do this shit if we allow it.
That's it. I think a lot of it though, Sav, is I've been at this house 6 years. The only thing I've seen is some high gas prices, and everybody was afraid of the air. That's it. I've not had one government official ever kick my door in. If we stop and think about it, I don't even think there was a civil war. I think the royal crown came over and conquered a nation over here, Sav. That was already established, dude. Like they were already doing the thing, man.
You know, I don't know anything that happened before for certain
Looks like it.
before 1965.
Right.
And in 1965, I was only aware of that which is real, that's around me. And I've always known that. I've always known that I can only verify what's real by what is around me. Okay. Everything else is just shit that I'm told. Hey, sounds good. Nice pictures, nice eyewitness testimony, blah, 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 like that. But I've always still, I don't know for certain. I've always been along that line right there.
That's right.
And when you start thinking you know everything for certain, you start getting too confident in that, and then you don't have any room to grow.
That's right. That's right.
You've hardened yourself into this idea. So yeah, there's a lot going on there, and you know the news agency is still prevalent today, and they're all the same company: AP, UPI, Reuters. They're all the same.
Isn't it Reuters? I've heard people say Reuters.
Routers.
Yeah, whatever. Same difference, right?
Small
But,
hats.
Yeah, back in the day, it was a lot easier to actually spread misinformation to the public because they didn't have things like cell phones and internet where people can cross-reference information. You had to trust your neighbors or the people coming down the road in horses telling you something bad is about. And so you fucking believe them.
Yeah,
I would assume.
That's right.
But nowadays, it's also very easy because there's all these different internet platforms of social media that are associated with people that believe those as truth rather than turning on Fox or CNN, but it's still incorporated into the same type of the mainframe of the misinformation. And one book that I would recommend to everybody to read is the one that was done by Jeff Berwick and I forget who else it was. It's called The Controlled Demolition of the American Empire.
Oh, wow.
And it will grab your attention super fucking fast. And if someone wants that book, but you can't afford it, shoot me a message and I'll buy it for you and send it to you. It's about a 400-page book, so it's not small. And I mean, I've got it. It's over on my bookshelf. But that's
you know,
thing
we've covered on this before too. Is this illusion of our American Revolution and that we broke away from England and all this other shit? the United States registered as a corporation in London 2 days before the Declaration of Independence was even signed.
Right.
Ain't that crazy? Hey, we're going to be our own country now. Is that okay? Yeah, sure. Go right ahead. All right. Go back and sign that thing, right? And even in the treaty for, you know, at the end of the American Revolution, King George, one of his patents of nobility that he's listed under is Prince of the Americas. What?
Huh.
What do you mean? How's that? Right?
I've heard it before.
So
Yeah.
we've never really broke away from England. This is why we were called the Great Experiment. But I think it's worked out to be kind of a double-edged sword. So the only real thing that they have is controlling our minds. Okay. And if we can break away from that mind control, governo mentis, they can't stop us. They don't have to stop us. We just disregard them. That's what that's what it's all about. Oh wow.
Here's the book, by the way. I think I overspoke a little bit. It's like
is that building 7 done up like a flag?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And it's by Jeff Berwick, you know, the dollar vigilante guy,
Uh-huh.
and Charlie Robinson, and also with Doug Casey. So
wow.
I watched him when he first started out.
Well, I want to say hi to Faceplant real quick here. I'm going to be cutting off here in about another 5 minutes. How you doing, Faceplant?
Hey, cheers.
Yeah.
How's my mic?
How you doing?
Oh, a little loud.
A little loud. Very good.
Did you know that Justin Sinclair Castro Trudeau is going to be on the Late Show tonight?
What?
Mm-mm. I don't watch TV, so I did not know that. No,
That's news.
there's probably something on X about it. I guess maybe.
Well,
Listen, that
he
guy
is an
doesn't
actor
have-
too.
I
If
don't
you
think
look up
that-
his bio, it'll show him as an actor. Trudeau.
Oh, of course, yeah, he is an actor. So Zelensky's an actor. They're
Yeah.
all actors. They're all actors, bro.
And Zelensky, you notice he changed the spelling of his name a couple times?
Yeah, oh my God, yeah. He was now get this. This is how bad it is with this Zelensky character, right? Before he was president of the Ukraine, he played on a comedy show as a
the
guy
president of
who
the Ukraine.
became president of the Ukraine.
Predictive programming cubed.
I mean, wow. I don't know, man. This shit.
Yeah. They're not hiding it anymore. They're just seeing how much bullshit they can shovel out, and we keep eating it like it's ice cream.
Oh my God, they do too. They really
did you
do.
ever see? There was a video that was around right when the whole Ukraine-Russia thing was starting off, and some people they found videos of Zelensky back before he was in politics or whatever, and him and another guy that are on stage, and they were playing the piano with their dicks.
Oh my God! Yeah. I saw that clip.
Well, it wasn't showing it because it was probably
Yeah, he was behind the piano. It was insinuated that he was doing that. Yeah.
But
Have you listened to the Sheep Farm?
What?
Sheep Farm podcasts and YouTube channel, the Sheep Farm?
No, I never heard of it.
Yeah, they're all over that too. Clown World, they call it. The whole thing.
I did find a little more information on those supposed mercenaries. You want in Chicago?
Hey, one last question before I get going, because I know
Yeah,
you're gonna.
I'm gonna sign off here just after this video too.
Why'd you shave the goatee off?
Oh man, it needed to give it a new fresh ground. Gonna grow all
Okay.
new. Yeah, man.
Looks good.
Oh,
All right. Thank you very much, Dave, for having me on.
Right on, Andrew. Anytime, buddy.
So I will be listening in the background until it goes.
All right. All right, we'll be back. See you guys. Let me put this on real quick, and this this is brand new. So
after my last video on Chicago started to gain some traction, I started to read through the comments. One of my subscribers or followers made a really good point. These aren't illegal aliens. These aren't illegal immigrants. These are military-age men that were bought and paid to come here by our own government. When your government is paying illegal immigrants to invade your country and they're providing them with support, aid, comfort, arms, and everything else, they are no longer illegal immigrants. That is what you call mercenaries. What we are witnessing in Chicago is a color revolution. It is your government who bought and paid a army of military-age men to invade your country with your tax dollars. This is your America, not fucking theirs. So we have an elite group of about 100 to 1,000 people at the top upper echelons that think that they have the ability to fucking ravish and destroy our nation using any means necessary, including our tax dollars. We should stop referring to these people as illegal immigrants and start referring to them to mercenaries. Because it's one thing to deport an illegal alien. It's another thing to start addressing them for exactly what they are, and they are mercenaries. These are bought and paid military armies bought by your government with your tax dollars. And if we don't eradicate them, they are going to slaughter and murder and rape American women and children. And it's already happening all across our nation. Are you ready for that, America? Are you ready to be zip tied to your bed while some Venezuelan savage gang rapes your daughter and your wife right in front of you? Because that's what's coming. These people aren't here for a better life. These aren't newcomers. These aren't dreamers. These are mercenaries. Wake up, America.
They're all over the place around my neighborhood already. They have been for years. They're from China. They're from the islands. They're from Pakistan. There's whole groups of them already bought and paid for, swarming the neighborhood here.
Damn.
In place.
Lock up your kids, your wife. They're raping everybody out here.
Raping everybody all up in here. You got to lock up, hide your kids, hide your wife. Remember that guy? God damn. Like, it was crazy, man.
Ooh.
Oh,
All I know is
I left a comment on
property. Let them F around and find out. That's all I got to say.
about that Duffy character.
Yeah.
That he could be a deep fake. Like you look at his face, it's kind of weird. Like he might actually.
Roger, who was up here, Rogers, who's in the chat, just met him before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he went to his church. He went there live while he was on my show. He went there.
But he could be a deep fake of that guy, an actual guy that's a deep fake. Like some.
Why go through that when you got the guy though?
Some character. Well, you don't have to pay the guy. You just pay him once and for his likeness, and you just insert whatever you want into it.
Okay. Well, maybe.
But a lot of characters on YouTube, channel holders, content providers, so-called providers, and even people, so-called people on panels, I'm suspecting of being bots, and in the chat too. It's
yeah,
like
you run into them all the time on
but they don't say it. Just
oh, that dude is dead. Oh shit.
Word salads. They repeat what you said a couple years ago back to you, and it resonates with you, and then they get the conversation going.
All right.
Just down any kind of rabbit hole is a distraction.
Well, we know that they're just fucking with us and attacking our minds at every juncture, at every moment. And that attack doesn't stop when you go to bed either, because your subconscious works onto it. So you have to be very mindful of what you allow into your mind, and be very skeptical of information that you get. Question everything. Always look at the whole picture. Don't just stand there looking at one little dot. Step back and look at all the dots. That's how you start seeing a pattern arise, you know.
And it's tough too, because it's like a bait and switch, some of the discussions. You're agreeing with something, and then they slip in that that one thing that's completely false along with it.
You watch Duffy, and if you know anything about sales, you can tell 100% this dude is a salesman. 100%. The way he even presents these things. I mean, that was really over the top, the way he talked about how everybody was so excited about this thing to go to Antarctica. Flat earthers were just really excited and all that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm over here popping a woody about it. What in the hell are you talking about? And then he talks about how it's built a community. And I'm like, no, dude, you interjected yourself into an existing paradigm. You know, I'd like me claiming that I built the flat earth community, you know, because no, man, I started a channel and started talking about that, and people that agree or people that want to challenge me come to that channel. That's what that's about. I built a community. I interjected myself into a paradigm that already existed. It's crazy.
Yeah, and that thing, it's just not going to happen, that Antarctica thing. It's not going to happen.
That's what I'm saying. One way or the other, they're either going to go there and not see anything, or it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Right. Isn't regardless, one way or the other. I mean, is nobody's seen this, and you know, this all of a sudden is going to be, you know, the big determining fucking trip, really. And I'm saying, if something's real, there would never be a need to fake it. Never be a need to fake it. So why would you have to have fake Antarctic 24-hour time lapses? Okay, so that tells you something, right? Same thing with space. If going to space is real and you're floating around in this thing up there, then why do you always got to fake it? Why do you always got to use green screens, augmented reality? Why do you have bubbles on your spacewalks? Come on, y'all. Nobody question this shit. So the way I look at it, reality doesn't have to be lied about. Reality is reality. When something is like that, then it's scripted. And if something's scripted, you have to ask yourself why. Why are they not giving me the real deal? Anyway, thanks for coming on up, Faceplant. Sorry you came so late. But yeah, we're a little over 3 hours. That's good enough for tonight. And we'll definitely be back. I was not there when they laid the foundation of the earth. Hush, Roger. Anyway, we will be again live tomorrow night at 9:35 Eastern time. Also, don't forget to catch us on Jeranism channel on Wednesday at 4:20 Pacific time, 7:20 Eastern time for Reefer Roulette. It's kind of a fun show. We let our hair down. We spin the wheel of conspiracy that each wedge has a different topic on it, and we talk about that topic for a prescribed amount of time and then move on to another topic. Unless, of course, and we have prizes. We have prizes and guests and all kinds of shit. So be sure and go over there to the Jeranism channel tomorrow, or Wednesday. I'm sorry, Wednesday at 4:20 Pacific. That's, of course, 7:20 Eastern time. And where else ever you live in the world, figure it out, man.
Don't let the last thing you do be something nasty.
Yeah, right. And just remember, you know, all you need are fish sticks, rubbers, and a getaway car, and you're on top of things, man. That's how shit rolls. But as long as you just keep in mind that the Lord loves a working man, don't trust Whitey. See your doctor and get rid of him. He'll probably kill you. And we'll see you next time on Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. Good night.